Good morning.
What's up, chat? Oh, look at Joe. He's already in here. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Let me get my screen up here. I didn't send myself a link. Hold on. Where are you? There we go. What an interesting day. And why do I keep getting logged out of my Twitter, man? What the heck is going on? Okay, it's gonna take me a second, y'all, to get my screen up. Hold on. I keep getting logged out of my Twitter. It's ridiculous. Don't know what's going on. But we're here. Beautiful comeback in the market. I was looking for this move to midnight open, except we were so choppy early on. I did not get any clean entry that I wanted. So we made the move back, but I was not in it. I didn't get what I want. Hello? I am not able to share this right now. What's up, Will? I'm trying to... I got signed out of X on my freaking computer, so I'm trying to sign back in so I can actually share my screen. There we go.
Jordan, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
We're back at it.
Does it work now?
Should I get the...
Wait, no.
Let me pull this up. Do I still got it saved? I might have dumped it. No. Lost it. I had the Walmart rares.
All right, I think. No way. 279.
All right, where are we?
All right, we're in.
SPX just going sideways. Nasdaq going sideways. What's up, chat? How's everybody doing today? Got some ones in the chat if you're green? Anybody got some ones?
Yeah,
Is there a link to the stream? Or is it just on your Twitter?
It's on YouTube. It should be on YouTube. Just search Wolf
Yeah,
Trading.
you could
It'll probably be on
do
there.
like link to the stream. You could do share, copy link on the stream. If you're trying to send it to somebody. Still cruising.
Yep.
Hit this 4-hour imbalance high, though, and been rejecting that, so didn't get trading above that very much. I'm gonna close up spaces. All right. Spaces
here.
is donezo. We're here. Jordan, what indicators do you use? I don't really use any. Like these are my indicators. I have an indicator that marks out the London, Asia, New York sessions. So I can mark those. I sometimes use this, which is just a representation of a bigger time frame candlestick next to whatever price action I'm looking at.
That's pretty cool.
I love that. That's a good one. I like to look at the 4-hour candles a lot using that, and it's nice to not have to like switch to that chart, you know. And then I just use this for macro times, which isn't like, I just like to have it displayed on my chart. I know the macro times. It's just nice to have it on my chart. I don't have anything that tells me buy, sell, no EMAs. I don't use any of that.
Straight price action.
Yeah. No volume. I don't need to see volume.
You know, if you understand the price action and the structure, you know, because I don't use volume profile. I'll look at it, but like I don't have it on my chart.
It could be useful.
Like,
I've used it in the past, but it's just not part of
sure.
my system really anymore.
I just think for me, like, you know, I'm going to identify the spots based on the price action.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, if you ask him or Rizzo or any of these guys, like we're going to talk about the same location or very close.
It's funny because
based on price structure.
Rizzo uses volume profile. He's really good at it. And it's funny. A lot of the time, what I'm looking at price action wise on the bigger time frame will line up with what he has on like a volume profile, and I love that. There's a few different ways to get to the same end of the road, you know. So it's all what works for you. That's what I've always said. Some people have come to me and like I'm sure a lot of you know, like there's genuine people that are trading off what the moon's doing. Like, am I doing that? No, like I don't have an edge doing that. I need to know like why markets are moving, why they're taking out the levels that they're taking, blah, blah, blah. That's why I trade the way I do. But I also know there's motherfuckers out there that are making way more money than I can fathom trading the damn moon cycles. And so it's whatever you got. You got to find what works for you. I don't think there's one size fits all.
No, I think, you know, back to options, like, you know, I'll trade some 0DT stuff here and there, but typically a lot of my stuff is more swing or position trading or something like that. You know, I like to do weeklies. You know, I'll try to catch some dailies if the move is big or something going on. I'll do it for that on certain names. But, you know, I like something I can get into a position, see what the price action looks like. You know, it's a little bit more manageable for me. Like I love the 30 to 45 day cycle for selling premium. Like you just rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
It's predictable. The math's on your side, law of large numbers. Like if you haven't figured out how to sell, or you don't understand or not familiar with selling premium and options, you really need to learn it and really understand how to take advantage of it, especially when the VIX is high, especially when IV's high in certain names. It's more predictable typically, and you know, win rate's high for me at least.
The session indicator, by the way, is just called S&D profile. And then Boris asks, so what do I use? So I don't use EMAs, don't use volume. All I'm using is price action, and within that price action, I'm using what you guys hear me talk about all the time: midnight open, 8:30 a.m. open. Bigger time frame fair value gaps. This is a bearish fair value. That's why it's a SIBI, sell side imbalance, buy side imbalance down here, right? I'm using Asia, London, New York session highs, previous day highs and lows, right? It's just I don't have an edge using EMAs. EMAs are lagging. Almost every indicator you find on TradingView is some sort of lagging indicator. I don't want that. Price will tell me everything I need. And I know like every single day, there's a 70% chance to rebalance to midnight open. That's all I need and an entry criteria for it. I don't need to look at volume. I don't need to look at EMAs. I don't need to look at any of that shit. It's just, that's all noise for me. So
yeah, on the daily time frame, on the intraday, like a 5 minute or something, like price action is really important. I look, I use the EMAs more for bigger time frames, for dailies.
Yeah. No, they
weeklies.
can be helpful on a big time frame for sure.
And for me, when I look at the chart, I can just say, hey, is it in a downtrend? Is it above, below the 200, above the 50, below the 50, to try to give me a sense on, do I want to do something there? What direction is the chart going? And I just think for most traders, if you're trading on a bigger time frame, you're not intraday trading, that they can be helpful to keep you on the right side of the trade if you're new. I don't want to go buy stocks that are way below the 200 and that look like death. I brought up Target earlier as being one of them. Like, if you want to trade them for bounces, but do I want to get long it down here? And you could say, well, it's cheap. Yeah, well, it's been cheap for a year, and it's continued to go lower. So you had some bounces in there, but once these moving averages are pointing down to the right, the trade setups are short. And if the moving averages are moving up and to the right, pullbacks are viable. I mean, it can be that simple. Don't overcomplicate it.
Ooh, almost at half gap.
I'm just doing a broad market scan, looking for what to trade.
Yeah,
a lot of established uptrends.
Yeah, what do you? I was doing that yesterday, just kind of going through the gainers and losers list. I'm just trying to look at charts and see, is there anything I like?
Generally, this is what I like doing. I do scans on Sundays. When I do my scans, I put like different parameters, but obviously I put the most bullish parameters and the most bearish parameters. And yeah, I'm looking for the individual names, but more so I'm looking for which sector itself is getting the most heat. Like how many names within healthcare are getting pops, or how many names within
Sure.
maybe financial.
Healthcare has been a ripper.
Dude, absolutely.
Healthcare has been. I've been short. I've been selling puts in there, basically from like the high 130s all the way up here, and I just keep rolling them up every week.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely puts your eyes on, or gives you a priority list. 'Cause there's so many good setups in the market. Just where to allocate your money is the question. Like, everyone was so bullish last week on oil, but that's only because we had maybe 2 days of bigger drawdowns and oil got the performance. But then if you look at it over the past 3 to 5 days, they're looking like shit.
Yeah, oil's back down. I mean, I trade some options on futures on crude, and I've been selling calls on oil since like July, like just
beautiful.
because the chart's just down and to the right. The 200 period's down and to the right. It's in a downtrend. Like, we were on stream, I think, on a couple, like I said, about a month ago in October, and I literally was like, listen, oil against the 62 level is a short, or you can sell premium in that area, or buy put spreads, and we're $5-6 lower in oil from when we called that out. And obviously, not everybody can trade crude. It's a big contract, so you can look at like XLE or XOP.
Yeah, you can really see it in XOM. It's funny. Like, look at that.
Yep, that's the exact one I was thinking about. ZOM.
So bad, so sideways.
It's just been sideways for a while. And honestly, like, if oil drifts down in this area, that's probably a short setup. I hate to say it, but it is. 4 hour looks. I mean, I guess the 4 hours into an area down on this 114, you could say maybe there's some support here and it's really oversold. But bounces, I'd be a seller of that name. Yeah. There was some news on Russia, Ukraine, that there could be a peace deal. That Ukraine and Zelensky has agreed to the terms, and they're hoping to get that signed. I think Trump said by the weekend. So certainly could have obviously oil that's moving down.
Take a look at this ticker, GMED. GMED.
Yeah, ripping.
This thing's a monster.
Oof.
What news did this have?
It was an earnings.
Wow.
It was an earnings gap.
Almost into all-time highs.
Yeah, I'd love to get into it on a break of that little flag there. You get the gap up on earnings, and then you got a little flag, and then a long right about 84.70 on that
Yeah,
break.
the cool thing is like you can scan for these types of setups. You know Finviz?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I use Finviz a
What do you
lot
use on there?
for screenings.
Like just
Like
all
my
your for your
parameters.
screeners? Yeah.
Yeah, I can go through some of my params. Let me open up Finviz real quick.
Feel free to share it if you want to.
I'm on mobile, but I can just I'll go through them out loud.
Yeah, you're good.
So if you go on finviz.com, click the screener tab. It's the third one on the top. And then there's a couple different tabs there. It says descriptive, fundamental, technical, and news. I start with the descriptive page. I put the price param for over $10 just to kind of filter out some of the small caps. Where it says relative volume, change that relative volume to over 1. And then on the last column, make sure it's optionable, obviously for the options traders. And then go to the third tab where it says technical. The 20-day simple moving average. Click that and do price above the 20. The 50-day, do price above the 50. And then the 200, price above the 200. Then if you're looking for like the most bullish setups, where it says 52-week high and low, make sure to put that on 0 to 10% below the high. Means price is heading up towards its 52-week highs. The beta factor, obviously in an environment where we're getting larger ranges like this, you want to take advantage of higher betas. So when you're doing your scan, change that beta factor to over 1. Again, if anyone's not familiar with beta is just a comparison with the S&P performance. So if it's doing bigger percent moves versus the S&P, that beta factor should be over 1. So yeah, beta factor over 1, and then change. You can just do change up, and it'll only pull up stocks that are green today. So now, based off those params, you should have roughly 5 pages of tickers. You see that?
What do you do when you're sifting through those?
So now when I'm looking at this, I'm looking, first things first, besides the individual names, the tickers, I'm looking at the sectors. I'm looking which sector is being repeated the most. So if you're looking at the scan with the params I just gave you, you can see the first page, it's a bunch of financial names being spammed. A lot of them are ETFs, but they're all financial ETFs. That's the first page. The second page, again, continuation of financials. Third page, again, more financials. Fourth page, again, financials. So again, you have a recurring sector here. It's the financials. So when you're looking at these scans, you know that kind of the most bullish looking things to trade today are these financials. So when I'm sifting through it, I'll go look for the best looking higher time frame setups within these, and it'll kind of shift your attention where you should be looking. Mind you, you'll also see like the individual like little straggler sectors. So if you see like there's a couple of tech names that come up, and like if you pull up these charts, they're like super bullish tech names. For example, one of them on the first page came up is CLS. If you pull up the higher time frame chart on CLS, this thing has been just making monster moves, and it's close to its 52-week highs with a nice established uptrend. Like these are names that I would look for lower risk entries on pullbacks. The second page, I see Expedia. I know off the top of my head that thing had a good earnings, did a nice little pullback, and then pushing back up. Here, another beautiful one, Gap. Like no one really trades this name, but it's looking quite bullish.
Yeah, it's up big today. I said that we
Yeah.
were talking about that a little bit ago. That's a big one.
It's up roughly.
I missed it.
9%
I wrote it down over the weekend. I wanted to put a position on there yesterday, and I got going to other stuff, and I didn't do it. I'm kicking myself because it's up huge.
So I had one. I was looking like a week and a half ago or something. EXAS came up on my scan.
Exact
I took a
Sciences.
Yeah, I took a position on it because I had already been watching the stock, but when it came up into the scans, um, it really put my attention on it. 2 days later, they got a takeover bid. So I got caught in the gap up. It was super nice.
It's a good place to be.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the bullish parameters, and then vice versa. If you flip all of these technical indicators, like full 360, so change the price to below the 20, price below the 50, price below the 200, and then the 52-week high low, you can do 0 to 10% above the lows, and you can find the most bearish setups. So obviously when the broad market's pushing up, we're not really looking for those short setups. Rather, we're looking for like the longer setups.
Yeah.
Right. But again, like stock trading is all about awareness, right? Knowing where the short setups are, even in a long market, can
Yep.
be really opportunistic because if the tides turn, you know where the most damage already is, and it's probably going to get even more damaged.
Yep.
So, again, just awareness,
Mm-hmm. CoreWeave was down almost 10% this morning.
Yep.
That's all the way back.
Yeah, CoreWeave. Yeah, only down 3%. Nvidia is still chopping around 176. AMD 200. Apple a little bit off the highs, 278. Google 323. We traded down to what? 316? 317.
Dude, Abercrombie and Fitch up 35% today.
Yeah, on earnings.
Uh-huh.
That's a monster.
Yeah, but the implied volatility on this thing was so high. Like even on this push up, the contracts are up 900%, 900 to 1,000% on a 35% gap up. Like, dude, if another ticker gaps up 35%, like these contracts would be up, I don't know, 4 or 5,000%, if not more.
Yeah, but obviously you're gonna have big premium in there because of earnings.
Exactly right.
Yeah, Kohl's and Abercrombie were absolutely nuts. Well, Kohl's was the other one, and I think that's what gave the lift to Gap. So the other question is, what else is in that space that maybe gets a trade alongside that?
Yeah, there's actually a couple. I track Urban Outfitters a lot. That one is performing pretty well today.
Mm-hmm.
It's ticker URBN.
Yeah, that one's up.
Yeah, and then some of these random restaurant names, like you have Chipotle, Sweet Green, Red Robin, Jack in the Box. These are all
Yep.
performing really, really well today.
Those Mickey D's.
Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
See,
what's up with that?
Mickey D's is the only one that I wouldn't put in that restaurant bag just because of its beta factor.
Such a choppy name.
Such a choppy name, and it doesn't even get like a quarter of the ranges that the other ones do.
Yeah.
Like I personally hate trading McDonald's unless it's short.
Yeah, that thing is. What do you do with that name?
I ain't touching that.
Here, I'll give you a crazy looking ticker. Look at Hilton. Higher time frame. HLT. Pull this up on the weekly. One of the best looking charts out there.
Oh yeah, it's been cooking.
It's just breaking out on the weekly. Just breaking out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that setup, you go back and look at the daily, like, that thing had a base, you're getting some higher lows here at 264, and you got this shelf right here, and you keep pushing up against it, and boom, that's your fourth time hitting that area, and now you go.
Right. Exactly right.
That's a nice breakout. Nice breakout there.
Yeah, very similar one to it is Marriott, MAR.
Right. Like now, on the weekly, it's
Yeah.
like I'd go sell the 265 puts, and that should be a secure low because you're breaking new structure to new highs. I don't even know if there's good options even in that name, but
For which one?
oh no, oh boy,
I
no
don't
way.
know. Probably not.
Hilton, no, they're like $280 stock. They're like $2 wide. That's not gonna work.
That's
No
a little rough.
liquidity.
Terra Wolf, super squeezy today. It's up almost 9%. Ticker WLF.
Yeah, trying to get moving out of this range, maybe. I like this. Swept these lows. Now we're getting the structure back over these highs. Ah, circle. I was told this was never going to happen.
What's the ticker? I don't even know.
CRCL.
CRCL. Down 5%.
It's tough.
Ooh. That is that's tough.
That's rough.
I mean, dude, Ace, if I show you my profits on that ticker, you would laugh.
Circle.
It's 100% short side trade on that thing.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Dude,
That makes me so happy.
my specialty is going after the names that get blasted on Twitter by these popular fools. I just go and
And you
backside
hear
all of them.
they're like, it'll
I
never
love
drop
it.
below IPO price. You're like,
Dude,
bet.
I'm gonna give a special shout out. There
Long
used to be
for
this guy.
life.
Listen to this story. There used to be this guy. I don't know if you've been around long enough to remember him, but his name was Palmer, the Skunk King. Special
Skunk
shout out to
King.
Palmer. Yeah, back when that Atlas trading room was a thing, you remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so this guy, he was in that room. I mean, he knew them. He was friends with them. I mean, he wasn't in with them, but this guy was one of the first guys that I knew that would backside every single one of those guys' calls. And he made so much money
That's hilarious.
playing the back end of those trades that I realized, like, dude, the real money isn't played during the pump. It's the fucking backside after. If you're able to stay in that thing for a couple weeks after it gets that push, there's just so much money to be made on the flip side. So this past, I don't know, maybe month, 2 months when we've been getting this drawdown, I've been going and shorting all those popular tickers just back to back, especially the crypto ones. Like, dude, money on BMNR, Ether,
Oh yeah.
the uranium names, Quad U, that thing was getting blasted. Like, I went and shorted that. Circle, CoreWeave, whatever you can think of that you were seeing on Twitter, they were all just
Yeah.
paying.
Look at this. I mean, yeah, this is just beautiful.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
Pump it. Get everybody locked in up here. Just fucking rug the thing.
Pull up FIG.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
I know.
another one. That's another
Beautiful.
one.
They just get pumped and they get crushed. When they
Yeah.
start to fall, they fall a lot.
What about What is it?
APG, that's just something that came up on one of my lists. Look at that
Oh.
one. I don't know what it is. APG.
There's another one. Boom. Klarna.
I have no idea what this name is, but broke the highs. I'll try a little flyer. No idea what this name is either, but it's on my
We're
list.
just going sideways on NQ. We're not doing
Look at
nothing,
this one.
ladies and gents.
No idea what this company is, but JLL broke out to new all-time highs. Jones Lang LaSalle, no idea what this is.
What?
Look at the weekly.
Whoa.
Boom.
Whoa. What even is this?
I have no idea what that is, but chart looks good.
Commercial real estate investment management services.
There you go. Broke out over all-time highs. Lower rate cuts, probably good for real estate.
Cooking.
Not an option name,
Up
but
30% on the year.
yeah. Little sleepy name.
I remember trading Enphase like at $100+ Like, gosh, look at this stock. Ha!
We're just max chilling right here, right now.
How many people are on the stream?
On YouTube, 120 people, about.
Man,
Oh,
hey,
140.
Just
Shout out to crew. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Just hang out. We'll have M popping on too a little bit later. The Futures crew. Just hanging out. Oh, I haven't had the best week, to be honest. Just light. Didn't get what I wanted yesterday. Didn't get what I wanted this morning, even though it ended up happening. Just not after a super choppy morning, and then during lunch we get the move. It's just market's been weird for me this week. So
You know what's the most difficult day
it's
of the
Thanksgiving week, so I'm not surprised.
Wednesday.
It's the day after major drawdown days are usually the most difficult. Like where you're getting
Yeah.
those green pushes, like oftentimes they're inside bars. You're not really knowing which direction you're gonna go to. Like that day is quite difficult. After that, the second consecutive green day after the drawdown day, usually where the best money is made, where you get those continuation pushes off the bottom. You already have kind of a baseline set on where the pivots are from the prior days. It gives you really, really good opportunities, especially for day trades.
Yeah.
For swingers, it's totally a more difficult market just because of the volatility. Add the short week on top of that. It's just not.
Yeah, for this week it makes it challenging. There's no doubt.
I mean, at the end of the day, when you're trading contracts, there's still a fee you're paying per day to own them. What's the point of paying the fee if you're not going to take advantage of the gain on that day?
Agreed.
You're paying that theta.
Yeah. Free donation to the market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the move I wanted. I basically just wanted to see us move to this midnight open before this time, really. want to see the market do it here. This took way
Got some
too
good
long
trades
for
on
me.
NQ today. Kind of the short at the open down there with Minx. We were short that area, and then
Yeah, off the open.
this little short scalp off the
Right off the open,
trend
it
line.
took us to this 4-hour imbalance, and we just held midpoint of that. That was the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at
Better take out highs again here, picking it back up.
yeah, we're right into this trend line. It's gonna be interesting to see what we do, like tomorrow and into Friday.
At the top of this whole area.
Yeah, I mean, the NQ still. I mean, on the futures at least, the 50 is still sitting at 25,144 on the futures.
Yeah.
In the cash and the NDX, you're right at it. I mean, you're sitting on it. 24,975 is the 50-day on the NDX, and obviously we've cleared that on the S&P, and we're starting to take the 20, which is 67.47. So that looks a little bit better than the NDX. And you got the Russell, which is just a monster today.
Here's a good looking little chart for you. FICO, FICO. Looks quite nice.
Yeah, that does look good, actually. Push back up over the 200. Held that area multiple times. Expensive stock, $1,700. I bet you the options don't look good in there.
Shit, they look great. They look great when they're working in your favor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew, $10 wide. I guess it's a $1,700 stock.
Now the one out the monies are like $6 spread.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna get that type of spread with a
Of course
with a big
premiums
price
cost
tag.
7,000.
Yeah,
You know?
expensive move. I might roll up these. I got some 280 puts in UNH. I'm gonna roll those out. I still like healthcare.
Here's a beast of a stock for you. MDT, Medtronics. It's a medical device stock.
Let's see. MDT, you said?
Yes.
You like that above the
What's up,
20
Sam?
MA now, huh? Above the 50
Yep.
and the 20 in one day? Man, don't get no bullish in that. I'm about to
This thing's a monster.
actually no. Yeah, actually,
Yeah, MDT. Wow.
Jordan might win that competition.
I want it. We swept October lows and you're bearish? I mean,
Dude, the guys in my Discord are listening. Someone just posted they're already in MDT, up 95%. Absolute
Let's
monster.
go.
Huge.
Oh.
I'm gonna grab some quick lunch before we run to the afternoon. I will be right back.
sounds
Do
good.
your thing, man.
Drew said in the chat, "Oh Lord, even Evan is here."
Even Evan. If we want to
What's
really
up? What's up?
keep trading over this level I have, 25,450. I have 310s next, but I think this is going to be a bit of an issue for now. We'll see. Getting a big rebound on some of the stocks, though.
Avgo trying to turn up here intraday.
Top of the consolidation.
Looks like Q's trying to push up too.
I need NQ to stop fucking around this week, but it's probably not going to stop. It's probably going to continue to fuck around the entire week. Which means I'm not going to get really what I want in terms of price action, but that just means we're going to have to stay a little more hands off.
Yeah, David, channel member David said never short a dull market. In the chat, not bad.
The dual market, yeah. What's up, Ariel?
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, Ariel.
What's the word, guys? How you guys doing?
Doing
How
good.
are you, bro?
Good, man. Just staying entertained with this market. I actually thought these past few days, we've been seeing a nice broadening out in the rally recently. And it's nice to see like NVIDIA take a well-earned breather, although it's happening on the, back of Google. But it's nice to see the market. We had banks picking back up today, which is good for the IWM. Yep. You had home builders picking up, which kind of feels like a front run of the rate cut narrative. You've got XLV, which is absolutely awesome. I mean, there's just a lot going on. Obviously, biotechs continue to be probably the best group in the market.
Yeah, XBI. Monster.
Yeah. XBI is awesome. Like my momentum scans are littered with biotechs.
Look at this. Look at this just from April.
Nuts. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts.
That's awesome.
And if you're playing like LabU, even better. And I personally prefer like the ETFs in the biotech space because unless you know like their PDUFA dates or how much cash they have on hand,
it can be a little scary going with the singular stocks. I'm with you. I'd rather be on the ETF. You just have a little more security there,
Yeah. And the PPH ETF for pharmaceuticals has been good. Eli Lilly, I mean, I don't
monster move on
what
that.
Is that? What is that?
1100.
So
what's that up this year? Gosh, just this year, 42.5%.
Yeah, it's awesome to see. So there's a lot going on in our markets right now, all while like prior leaders, like your Palantirs and your NVIDIAs and your Robinhood, they're just doing nothing, which is great. Right?
That's the thing. A lot of people think it's a bad thing, but it's a bad thing if they're tanking, right? If they're holding price, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
And they're not necessarily tanking per se. And the important part here is, yes, they're pulling back. But when you fall in love too much with one individual name and you're like losing sight that money is going somewhere else, if your singular focus is NVIDIA and NVIDIA is coming down, you might just say something like, oh, this market is terrible. It looks horrible. And that's not true at all, right? The market is just seeing rotation into healthcare, biotechs, pharmaceuticals, recently small caps, regional banks today, home builders recently. So it feels like a broadening out of participation. I mean, all we're missing at this point is oil stocks to get going. And what isn't moving at this point?
Yeah, oil stocks. Gosh, it's been rough.
Yeah, well, I'm watching XOM like right against the 50-day right now. Because
this whole range is just rough. I'm curious to see what we do out of here.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things too is like it just has such a big base, but it feels like it needs crude oil to stop going down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you told me these things are going higher because of their prowess in the nat gas space and that's what's going to power these data centers going forward, that makes some sense. But such a big part of their business is oil and gas, and that oil and gas just does not catch a bid.
It hasn't for a minute. I mean, Will, you were talking about that whole area of the market has just not really had any participation from big money at all. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. And, you're seeing like the crypto space. I feel like I can't say for sure that space has bottomed, but money just is steady leaving there. MSTR, I feel like is painting the picture that maybe Bitcoin isn't done going down. Does that obviously affect Ethereum? So,
yeah, I think we could drop more on Bitcoin. I'd like it to be into next year. I'd like to see this year's lows. This right here is this year's lows. I'd like to see that.
Take it out, undercut it, and maybe reclaim that level.
I would love that. That would be perfect. That'd be exactly what I'm looking for. Kind of, honestly, it sounded crazy. It sounded a lot crazier before we took this dip. But, I mean, I just look for similar thing. I know it's a yearly chart, but these big time frames, I love to use them. And I just kind of looking for a similar thing as 2022. We had the same thing where we had just open dead space that we traded into. I'm looking for the same thing, right? I want to see 2026 open and us trade into this dead space here. Whether we need to or not, I mean, doesn't really matter. I'm going to be buying Bitcoin constantly. I already have been buying. So whether we get what I want there, I'm not too pissed off if we don't. But I would love to see this year's lows and be able to pick up some more towards that 74.5.
Yeah, and it's good to remember something about sentiment too, right? Like what bottomed the crypto market? Obviously, it moves when there's a bunch of liquidity, and I've always said I think it moves a little bit on par with the Nasdaq, just a little bit more leveraged. And it's that thesis is kind of decoupled a little bit this year because of what Bitcoin's been doing, down 20-something% off the highs. But Bitcoin bottomed on the worst news possible, effectively not long after Sam Bankman-Fried committed fraud on a bunch of customers. And then if you kind of think about it this year, we have been in like the most pro-crypto government ever. Obviously, with crypto still being somewhat of a newer asset, but we're in a very crypto environment, and it has done nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like you get the worst possible news, Bitcoin bottoms. You get the best possible news, which is like your president fleecing unsuspecting people with, Trump coin. And you're like, oh, this has got to be bullish.
That's what I think people forget. We're in such a pro-crypto environment, but look at Bitcoin's down 6.5% on the year.
Yeah. And what about Solana? What about Solana? Look at when Solana topped, and look at it topped immediately when Trump released Trump coin. We're within days of each other.
Yeah. That's wild. That's Ethereum. I don't know if you've been watching BM&R. I know, Evan, you love your BM&R.
Disgusting.
This thing is
horrible.
It's been getting disgusting. I would love to see them try and maybe they sweep these lows and reclaim it and save it a little bit. But boy, this move down to this is it's just indicting a lot of fear. I don't know.
I think it's okay to be bullish on like the crypto assets if the world is really heading towards, tokenizing everything.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But for the time being, I personally can't just sit there and buy something as it's going down and down and down, unless I'm in from like so much lower, right? I'm a momentum swing trader. So like being in things that are going down is like intuitively the opposite of what I want to be in. Because we just don't know how low is low, right? If you had loved solars into 2022 and 2023, you just have killed yourself. So that's the last thing I want to do, is fall in love with the wrong asset at the wrong time and then be a forever investor.
And that's always been my worst fear, because it's like it's obviously happened a few times towards the beginning of investing and just trading, and you get married to one position or one stock, and it can just ruin you. It's so much better to move on, but sometimes when you get that deep in it, you can't move on, and you're just stuck in that, right? And that's the worst place to be as a trader, honestly. It's not fun.
Yeah, I was going to say,
crypto is such a go ahead, Ariel.
Yeah, I was going to say the only time I've like ever really had a big thesis on a sector was uranium, and it was in 2022. And it had nothing to do with AI data centers. It had everything to do with like, remember when California put out the mandate that said like we'll have nothing but EVs on the road by like 2030, whatever. And in the back of my mind, I was like, well, you can't use like coal burning plants to like power these electric and charge these electric vehicles. You're going to need a lot of nuclear, right? And being from Illinois, we have a lot of nuclear here. So like that made some sense to me, but I was early to that thesis, and I ended up getting my ass kicked on CCJ. And that was like the one time that I said to myself, it's okay to have a thesis, but have that thesis when the technicals are in your favor, because then when it starts to work and you have a ridiculously sized position, you can just let it work for you because you're anchored into that thesis that you've studied, that you know so much about. And then all of a sudden, like, when it's working for you, you're not selling it early until something about those technicals or the story truly changes. And had I done that, I would have made so much more on CCJ, but I was early. It was still in a downtrend. And then I get caught in a gap down when CCJ is going to raise money to buy Honeywell. And, I'm staring at a gigantic loss, which I had to eat. So there's a big lesson learned. Yeah,
for sure.
I think
Gotta learn those lessons. What's up, Bully?
confidence with crypto it's so much different now than it was 4 or 5 years ago. I think one of the biggest differences after they regulated it, they added so many new angles to it, especially with this KYC angle. Like, anyone that's trying to send crypto, I mean, if you're going through any type of regulated broker, you're revealing yourself and the transactions that you're making. So the idea behind it being a cash transaction being done online is not necessarily true at all, I mean, especially if you look at the European regulations, dude, you have to put who you're sending it to and what their name is and pretty much their entire information list before you can even send them crypto. I mean, back then when you were sending crypto, you were able to send it pretty much anonymously.
Yeah.
Now, unless you're using like cold wallet or like an off-chain thing, I don't know. I think the utility aspect is a lot different. Now, if you look at it also in a perspective of the banks have such a big stake. It's kind of like a contrarian theory. Like, will it be able to actually go down because of the stake that these bigger financial institutions took, or is it all just a ploy, like cover up? It's very, very mixed opinion, which takes away from that everyone being long or everyone being short aspect of it.
Do you feel like they took away the people's currency by institutionalizing
Of
Bitcoin?
course.
Yeah. Do you feel like
100%.
BlackRock getting involved, their government getting involved, all the creation of these ETFs, you've taken this thing that was meant for the people out of the people's hands is really what it feels like to me. I don't know if you feel the same way.
That's exactly what they did. And if you look at it in like a alternative perspective to that, they introduced those privacy coins where you are getting like the older utility of what crypto was meant to be. It's like no one should know what you're sending or who you're sending it to. For me personally, I think that was the original basis behind these cryptos, Bitcoin. But now that you have to introduce a separate product in order to get that same utility, to me, it drives money into different directions rather than it all going into one place, So I don't know.
Is that why Zcash has done so well this year?
That's exactly why.
The anonymity or whatever, anonymity of sending money. Yeah.
That's exactly why. And there's a couple other ones. I don't know them off the top of my head, but again, I mean, when you're trying to drive an asset price up, you want it to be all pouring into the same place, not split up across, I don't know, 100 different cryptos, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, imagine you took the entire market cap of all the cryptos and just put it into Bitcoin. Bitcoin price would be easily over $1 million. So you have billions of dollars being split across multiple assets within the crypto space.
Yeah. The creation of Fartcoin and Hoptual coin definitely is not helping. It's not helping, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that stuff. Gosh.
Ariel, I always appreciate your perspective. You're an outside the box thinker, my friend.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you got any thoughts on just all the data we've had coming back? I know we just got out of this earnings season and now government's back up and we're getting all this data back, and we got that Fed meeting coming up, I think on the 10th of December.
Yeah, it does feel like there are some assets out there like biotech and in particular home builders these last few days, which are maybe starting to play a little bit of that. Like biotech's been doing it for a while, but then biotech's got a little bit of this angle as well where AI could be helpful to it. But if we really think about like the data that we've been seeing, I try not to dive too much into it. My favorite type of data outside of maybe using some NAIM surveys is using COT data, commitment of traders, and that's more so for futures markets. It just gives you a good perspective of open contract, open interest in these futures markets. I try to not play where everybody else is playing, right? I try to go to something that's a whole lot less crowded. And that has actually worked well, for instance, with Ethereum when things get super crowded. And that's actually a piece of data we've been missing for the last few months, really, since the government shutdown started. So about 2 months now, we've had no COT data. It will be interesting to see how crowded or not crowded the Nasdaq is here and the S&P 500. But you know what? I think there's always not to quote Jim Cramer, but he did say it best. There's always a bull market somewhere. And while money has been absolutely running for the hills, if you're looking at rare earths, quantums, nuclears, some data center names, it's been going right into healthcare. And so my thinking is, where's money going? Where's money leaving? My focus is go to where money is going, because institutions build up positions for a really long time. I mean, you could look at a name like INSM or I forget the other Stan Druckenmiller position, NTRA. And these things are just like vertical. And you're like, this is Stan Druckenmiller's largest positions for the last few months now. And meanwhile, he has kind of sold himself out of the tech space, in particular, these names that have gone wild for the last few years. And he's just like a little bit hands off in that part of the market. So I always try to think the same way, like, where's money going? Where's money leaving? I don't need to find the low on Meta, for instance, while it's living below its 200-day to then still make a ton of money when the trend actually turns back up, versus saying, just like Bitcoin, right? I don't need to own it while the 200-day is sloping down, and over the last 200 days, price is down. I could just wait until one day it gets back above its 200-day moving average, and it will then go on to make a much bigger move if that was its intent all along.
Let the moving averages keep you on the right side of the trade for now.
Yep, that's exactly right. And for right now, it's pharmaceuticals, it's drug stocks, it's still gold and silver, it's copper,
healthcare, yeah,
it's healthcare. So that's what I'm focused on. That continues to be the focus. And here's the reality: a lot of those names, some of them are just a little too slow, or they don't have enough liquidity for me to get involved. And so I haven't been involved. Instead, I've been kind of playing the short side, like sitting here with still $146 average in Oklo, or playing Rigetti from the bear flag breakdown in the high 30s, or sitting in Cypher short from 25. Yeah, I mean, some of these names have just been easy to be in. Yeah, very simple to be in that name. Just a beautiful.
That's down almost 65%. Jeez.
Yep. Yeah, and here's the thing: like, it doesn't look that good, right? The chart doesn't look that good. So
not here.
Nope.
No, yeah, Oklo at 84 bucks. That don't look good either.
And I'm sitting there from 146, and I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
146. Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
I actually shorted into that little spike on what looked like the Head and Shoulders, and it was just a rejection of the 20 simple moving average, and that's the day I got short, and it's been zero.
Back in late October, I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had zero drawdown since that entry.
Yeah, no, it's been
zero.
It's been perfect. And the other one that I've recently shorted is Netflix, when it re-lost its own 200 simple moving average.
Because I was playing long in here just to this gap, basically. I was playing longs, and then we really got cutting under it. What was this? What day was this? This was Thursday last week. That was rough under that range. So
Netflix, I shorted it on. I actually shorted it on 11/14, but I was stopped out on the 18th, and then I re-shorted it on the 19th when we got back underneath the 200. And I mean, look at that one and look at Spotify, and you tell me what those charts are doing. So lower we go.
Yeah,
I love it. I love people trading from the short side because I'm one of those guys as well.
I never hear people really shorting these companies or shorting like shares really at all. So I love
They make it,
to see
ever since that split, they made it even easier.
Oh,
The
yeah.
spread tightened up a little bit.
The
Right?
options are actually doable now. We were looking at it before. It's like the spread is just awful. I'm not doing it. And now I'm like, okay, I'll trade it. I'm willing to.
The other one that needs a good split is Melly.
That's a stock you love, huh, Emp?
That's
your
M's
stock.
pride and
Please.
joy.
That's Em's pride and joy. He wants a split so bad.
It's such a good company. If they could just give us like a nice 10 for 1.
Oh, yeah, make it $200 and we're good.
$200, right?
Beautiful.
God, I've been praying for that for years. It's just they just keep letting me down, and I just keep getting deliveries from them right and left.
You actually use them?
Yeah.
Are you in South America?
I'm in Mexico.
Oh, God bless, dude.
Why why don't they split a stock like this, Ariel? What's your mindset towards that?
Well, it's institution money, right?
Yeah, I feel like it introduces too much weak hands into that market, right? And not that it matters at all, but it's like Berkshire. Why don't they split that one?
Yeah,
right.
It's just like who's playing in Mercado Libre at $2,000 a share? Nobody. Retail related.
Me.
Yeah,
it's true.
But here's the thing, right? You're not trading it. It's not a trading.
I can't trade it. It's not tradable. That's why it's like so grindy.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not a trading stock.
It's not liquid.
You own it. It's a owning stock. It's a great company.
That makes sense. Because it's right. Like, look what happens with Netflix, right? It splits, and we all as traders, we get freaking excited. It's that's what they don't want. Essentially.
Now all of a sudden, I'm like, I can short this thing.
Yeah.
Instead of like getting 1,000 shares, like you can actually now put on a couple more.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's good.
What's up, Emp? How's the day been?
It's frustrating.
I know I'm not having a good week at all. Like, not a bad week, but it's just like I'm not getting what I want, and I did get what I wanted today, but it didn't happen. It happened after that choppy ass morning, and so was I in it for the move to that midnight open? Of course not. No, but
the dynamics, like after what happened last week, I came into this week, which I did. The SPY puts I took yesterday, I got out most of them at 40 and 60% today. If anybody held those, it was on stream this morning. But so that was a nice little win. The outside of that, like my fear was that institutions away from the desk and they, the dip just gets bought and it starts floating back up like this. So knowing that in my head, I still tried the short and sat there and fought the short a little bit this morning. I got a 1 win on one account, and then I'm red on another account. So green on one from last night. So we're fine overall, but it's just frustrating that I fought against what I was like. I know this is a danger, and I should probably just not do anything. But I took the shot at it. I mean,
trust me, I'm pissed too. I had confluence for the long, and I wasn't in it to my targets. So
the only confluence I had was just over exuberance, people in this market buying for no reason.
Yeah,
that's just the only confluence I had. We're not out of the woods yet. I posted a chart on my X just a few minutes ago. The exact of where we're at now is the 50-day moving average on Nasdaq. Tech is not participating in this rally at all. It's actually red on the day. So that, I mean, are we making progress? Yes. Are we out of the woods? We're not out of the woods at all.
And are you talking about the XLK ETF?
Yeah, so XLK is red, which obviously we know NVIDIA being down is a big piece of that. But I look around, the Mag 7 they have no idea what they want to do when you look across the board. But just the NASDAQ itself is it's right at the 50-day from the underside. The 21 EMA is right there as well. So SPX ran into that yesterday, paused, pulled back a little bit, got through it today, and then now you have the NDX catching up and doing the same thing. Or if you like QQQ, you can look at QQQ and see the same thing.
Yeah, a big positive too, though, is seeing the RSP up quite a bit more than the S&P 500. So for me, a little bit of broadening participation. And I agree with you. It's coming out of tech and it's going elsewhere, which
small caps.
Yeah, I still don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, small caps are getting a big
Just
boom
getting
from
crunching today.
Well, I think they're getting a big lift from regional banks because it's
Yeah,
like,
because the retail
It's the
data
rate.
that we had this morning, and now the rate cuts priced in quite a bit, so you're getting that relief in interest rates where the 10 years below 4% now, the 30 years in the 460s. So you got rates coming down, which is going to provide a lift for home builders, real estate, and the like. So any rate sensitive sectors are definitely in that camp.
Yeah, even look at an RKT today. A nice little chart going into the day as well, starting to try and turn back up.
Oh yeah.
So
I think that one plays back again with your rate cut narrative. People are front running that. Actually, it's funny you mentioned RKT. Some of my best trades this past 2 months has been on the actual rate cut days. Go look at what RKT does on the actual rate cut day. It drops so hard. They sell it off. Just kind of
obviously,
validates the actual narrative.
lower
that it's
mortgage
really
rates,
a run-up.
right?
Yep.
it'll
Lower
be
mortgage
funny to
rates
see. It'll be
gonna
funny
help.
to see what the dollar does. The dollar actually bottomed when they just most recently cut interest rates, and it was supposed to be, oh my God, they're devaluing your dollar. It's you got to own Bitcoin, you got to own gold as a way to protect yourself against them devaluing your dollar. And then they cut the interest rates, and that was actually the low as a double bottom on the dollar. So kind of comical. And then ever since then, really, the market hasn't done much. So it'll be interesting to see again what happens when they cut interest rates. Does that actually affect the dollar this time, or does the dollar just continue to go higher?
Well, the dollar, here's the other thing on the dollar from a bigger perspective is going to be whether or not they cut, but it's if they cut because it's not good, economic data wise, and we have an issue with, unemployment going up dramatically from here, the dollar can be bid due to being a safe haven. So even if they're cutting the dollar, you can still find a bid in the short term. If, there's a recession on the horizon or whatever else, you could get that safety trade.
I like that idea. Safety trade. And it was supposed to be in gold, which, by the way, gold still looks pretty damn fantastic.
Did you see Peter Thiel's write-up on gold?
Gold on the daily looks good.
Sure does. No, I didn't.
What was Peter Thiel's write-up? Yeah, what was that?
Here, I'll send. Give me 1 sec.
Yeah, gold and silver both look pretty good to me on the daily.
Yep. They kind of went sideways, above the 20, and then we got to push off that 20 and north of 380 on GLD. Looks good.
Yeah, gold looks awesome. And then you've got some gold miners which are absolutely participating. Barrick Gold being
Oops,
the best
I was
of
mistaken. It wasn't Thiel. It was Dalio.
Ray. Yeah, he's been hard to listen to, man. He's been on this. He's been, he's almost been worse than some of the other doomers on social media. He's almost been worse than listening to Burry.
Very. Oh gosh.
He just started.
He just signed up for the Substack. I just signed up.
Did?
No, hell no.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff. I was about to say, look at you go.
Oh, I think we're going to start a Discord, and we're just going to take the Substack and just post it in there. Just do all the things you shouldn't do.
That's too funny.
I agree with that.
Dude, I got stuck in such a brutal. So I had a really nice $260 short on SNDK because it was a bit extended from the 50-day. I got some covers off at $195. I got a couple more covers off at like 127 yesterday. So I kind of let that squeeze on me happen. And then once it started to just consolidate around the 20-day, I was like, all right, let me not be greedy and take off a little bit more. Then they get that inclusion in the S&P 500, which I've never seen an audible like this on a Monday.
It was a wild one.
So
SanDisk, they did it on purpose because so many people were shorting it.
Yeah. So I cover 246. I have a 260. I was like, all right, I'm out. Last third of my position, whatever. And then this morning it just rolls over to 210. I just am sick to my stomach that I'm not sitting there with my 260 on at least the final third. But whatever. It was a nice trade, but it's still a little frustrating that they would come for you on a Monday afternoon. And I happen to be at my desk. If I'm off my desk, that is possible. Well, if you're off the desk and you just like look at it this morning, you're like, holy shit, what happened on the gap up? And then you roll back over. But I was on the desk and I'm just like, whatever, I'll just get out.
It's funny because we were on the Stock Picks show, and Nick has been talking about that name, and that was his pick last week, which obviously the pick ended. But I was like yelling it out during the middle of the space. I was like, "Hey, wait a second! SanDisk is up like 10%. It's going to the S&P."
That's so terrible. That's so terrible. But did he reshort it? Did he call it out first?
I don't know. He didn't pick it. I don't know if he was looking at it for a follow-up trade or not. Sometimes that over exuberance is like you hit it the first time and then you walk away on those shorts.
I've never thought being added to the S&P 500 is a reason to chase along. And, I remember Datadog gave us something similar on July 3rd where it gets that gap up and then just over the next 4 or 5 days, it just fades. So I don't know that being added to the S&P 500 is necessarily the bullish enough news for the stock. Like, okay, the stock is doing well. It's in a good group. Micron's doing well. Western Digital's doing well. But is that a reason to chase a stock higher that's already up 300%? I don't know. But they stopped me out. That's for sure.
Talking about SanDisk?
Yeah, they got me yesterday.
Dude, that was one of my biggest gainers this year. I got in around like $40 with options.
Man.
It was crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah. If only I didn't sell it around like 150. I got rid of it. Sure, another 100 points after, but I mean, I ain't gonna complain. Ariel, check your DM. I sent you that write up. It was Ray Dalio, not not Peripheral. Yep. Just DM'd it to you. Really good read.
Wasn't AppLovin another one that was like the September 5th that it actually gapped up and just kept going? Yeah, AppLovin. September 5th, they announced it going in the S&P, and it's the one that like just gapped and it just kept going like day by day by day by day.
And then they eventually filled that gap, huh?
And they eventually filled the gap, what, like 2 days ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was probably... I don't know.
It's tough, right? There's a lot of fear near those lows, so it's like hard to buy it as it's like actually.
Yeah, it would have been hard to buy. I mean, maybe you look and you say, okay, it's under $500. I don't know. Like, it's a tough one. I think there was a previous all-time high right there. Is like, 30s, 20s. You look left, it's not a bad little consolidation spot, but
no, it looks good. But I think it's without these names building much bigger bases. Like, how do you feel owning a stock that's up 4,000% in 2 years without some, 12-month long, 8-month long consolidation, right? And that's what could be coming for an NVIDIA, a Palantir, an AppLovin, and that would not be out of the ordinary while other things lead. The problem is that during that sloppy consolidation, people chop themselves up to bits. And by the time it's actually ready to go higher, they're not really making money anymore. They're just making money back. So I don't know. It's hard. I like AppLovin's numbers. I think that they're a solid business, but just piling into stocks that are living below the 50-day, you don't know which one turns into the next Duolingo.
Yeah, or like Adobe. Or CRM, Salesforce. Like, there's some names in this market that just can't get off their back.
Yeah, right. Software application.
Target's another one we talked about. Just brutal.
What's another? You said Adobe, CRM. ServiceNow is another one that just like refuses to look at NOW, another institutional quality name that just really refuses to do anything.
Yeah,
So-
just sideways.
Yeah. Yeah, not that great, honestly. Not that great. And below a falling 200-day, it's not what you
Yeah,
want.
after a double rejection of it. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and when I look at this, I see this during a raging bull market that looks like this.
Right.
Right.
Those are the things that bother me is when you have a stock doing this when the entire market is literally like parabolic vertical.
And what do you think happens to a name like NOW if the market begins to, let's say, actually fall 12, 15%?
Yeah, you get a 10% correction. That name's, I mean, that's what people are going to flood out of, you know, and that's like, at least like I could see people make an argument that'd be like, well, on a valuation basis, it's already beat up. Well, and I think the simplistic view is if you own any ServiceNow or stocks that are struggling and everything else is coming down, you're like, okay, let me cut the bad ones and let's put some money back into the good ones that are actually holding up. I think that's the better line of thinking from a simplistic standpoint. If you're like sitting, you've got a position in ServiceNow for whatever reason. Maybe you're looking at it down here and going, okay, well, I've got a position here, but if this starts really falling and breaking, that money would serve you much better, probably in a better chart, maybe a Mag 7 name, maybe an AI name. I don't know. Everyone's different, right? But just the simplistic view of that would be, okay, you know, if the market itself isn't cooperating, what makes me think that this has actually got a chance of going up?
Yeah.
What do you go ahead?
Look at what they did with Google the moment the market stops going lower for like 24 hours. Right? They just send it higher immediately. Market goes down 7%. And to your point, Google doesn't budge at all. Right? And so the second that the market stops going lower, Google's the first one to take off. The second that the market stops going lower, Apple starts to perk right back up. So yeah, it's tough, right? I don't ever want to put myself in a situation where you own ServiceNow, and then even on the way back up, there is just a boatload of overhead supply that you have to churn through. And a lot of people who are like, oof, thank God I'm just getting my money back now. You know, let me go ahead and get out of this thing.
What do you think about NVIDIA losing 180 here, this structure?
It doesn't look good, but still, even with the news going on, do you want to rush into it? Maybe not. Maybe you let the airwaves clear a little bit. I think your risk is going to be that people are going to start coming out saying, yeah, there's no replacement for NVIDIA still. Like that's what your risk would be.
Sure.
And it's still the bellwether stock. I see Google where it's at and stuff, but I just don't see where all of a sudden people are going to be like, yeah, we're not spending $80 billion on NVIDIA in the next few quarters. Like, narrative is a big piece of a lot of this puzzle that we all participate in, but there was dip buyers down here today.
Yep.
It's a tough call.
Needs to reclaim that area. It needs to get back above 180 and needs to do it fast.
We get a lot of stocks. So a lot of stocks still need to reclaim areas. Here's what I'm going to make a post about this here in a little bit, but if we just go through, like, here's the top 10 of QQQ, top 10 weighted Nasdaq stocks, and then obviously 7 of these are your Mag 7, right? You look at Google, all-time highs, right? You look at Apple, all-time highs. You look at Amazon just round tripped to the 200-day from all-time high twice, but it's basically in the middle of nowhere right now. You look at Microsoft coming off the 200-day today, but, not really doing anything great. You look at what's the one, Meta, well below its 200-day. The parity in these stocks right now. Broadcom obviously tied with that Google news. They're the ones that kind of fab a lot of the TPU stuff. But then you look at Costco is actually top 10 weighted stock, well below its 200-day, getting crushed.
Oracle below the 200 also.
Tesla's still in no man's land right here. Huge overhead supply. You've got demand down here. You're kind of just in the middle of nowhere.
I'm going to head out of here. Love you guys. What a great day.
All right, my guy.
See you later,
hey, man, great seeing you on here, Bully.
Yep.
We didn't get to chat much. We'll chat more next time.
Absolutely. Done deal. Peace,
All right,
guys.
my guy. Be good.
Enjoy.
But yeah, so like what I'm saying is you have just so much parity between what's going on in all of the biggest weighted stocks in the world right now. They're all over the board. And it kind of makes sense to the Nasdaqs like that. And then yeah, you look at some of the other ones that the market loved. You look at, Qualcomm, failure to break out, this is a failure, right? To push higher out of this consolidation, comes right back in. It's barely above a 200-day. You look at, you mentioned Oracle. Oracle just getting absolutely creamed below the 200-day.
Dell's right there with that one too. Dell's right there with it as well.
Dell reports today, right off the 200-day. Dell reports today. So what do they look like? And then I look at like cybersecurity, CrowdStrike, right? I mean, fighting underneath the 200-day, fighting underneath the previous all-time high. And W also look above in major failure, bad earnings, back below the 200-day. There's a lot of things that I'm like, okay, there either needs to be some major repairs in these charts, or the industry itself is going to have to come down to fix some of this stuff.
Yeah, like I was just looking at the IGV, which is the software names ETF, and like that's below the 200-day. So
right.
You're right. There's just a lot of repair that needs to be done. So when we say, hey, everyone's really gung ho about rallying back to all-time highs, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of wood to chop.
Yeah, and I'm not really ready to say the bull market's over or anything like that. I'm just saying there's so many like different pieces of this puzzle and this tug of war going on. It's almost like I don't know if you've ever seen like we used to do this in football a lot, but like you'd put a bunch of people around like a circular rope or a ring or something, and you're all pulling different directions, right? It's not like a two-way tug of war; it's a multi-way tug of war, and that's what I'm seeing across these markets right now.
Yeah, I don't love it. When we were in our strongest market, you had all semiconductors moving well and together, right? It was even your A lab was working well, your CRDO was working well, TSM, LRCX, KLAC, you name them. And now it's like, here's NVIDIA, here's AVGO, and then everything else is sloppy in the middle, including AMD. It just makes it too hard. And they're such a heavily weighted group for the market. It's just easier to leave them alone, honestly, at least for now.
Yep. I don't know. And see, the good thing is like, I don't have to sit here and I don't have to, just because I'm like not uber bullish at this moment, doesn't mean that I have to short the market either. There are periods of time, like for me, there's periods of time in the market where you take your shots at all the different things that are working, that, everything's kind of ebbing and flowing together, kind of like Ariel was just saying, ebbing and flowing together. The entire AI trade's working, or the entire, data center is working, or memory, whatever it is. And they're all moving together, and the market itself is all moving. People are still of high belief. And right now, like things have just changed a little bit. I don't have to take a bunch of swing long. I don't have hardly any options even on right now. I have some hedges on the short side from this morning, and that's about all I've got.
Yeah, and even like you said, focusing on a group that has already made such a large move, when sentiment is so high and price is no longer moving with that sentiment of this is the future, this is AI, this is what they're capable of, this is where the market's going to be because of it. But the price action is not matching up with that narrative anymore, right? It was like what I was talking about earlier with, my thesis in nuclear a few years ago. When price is not matching along with your narrative anymore, then or in general, it's just best to be on the sidelines. So like just wait until price is starting to do what you think it could do. Like I'm bullish Tesla because of robo-taxis, humanoid robots, and maybe their AI platform. Okay, all that's fine, but price right now is telling me that this thing trades like crap. So do I have to be long, or can I just wait until keep that thesis in my back pocket and then just wait until price to actually start building higher lows, tightening up, and then begin to actually break out from like clean structure, which we're not getting right now. So it's just better to do a whole bunch of nothing at the moment. I agree with you completely. Or play healthcare stocks. GRAL was amazing yesterday. GH has been awesome. Yeah, GRAL was unbelievable.
Oh wow.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a good looking chart. This is a good looking chart structure.
Yep.
And then it's a breakout. This coming in makes sense today after what it just did after 2 days. But when I look at this, okay, good chart structure. I can be excited about that name. And then I look at a lot of the favorite tech stocks right now, and I'm just like, I can't be excited about them. I mean,
here's another.
How do I get excited about this? Nebius sitting on top of a gap.
It looks terrible. And obviously look at what they've done with CoreWeave. Look at what they're doing with Oracle. They're in the exact same group, and it looks horrendous.
Good Lord.
And now on the flip side, look up a GMED. Look at how nice that looks. A picture perfect breakout yesterday.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And see, I know a lot of people that are still trying to fight this trade right here. They're still trying to fight UNH below a downsloping 200-day. You got the gap fill right here, and then it had an obvious failure the second time you had the gap fill. There. Second time you had the failure when you tried to get out of the gap. You're under everything. People are trying to fight this when you have, I mean, look at the two names that Ariel just mentioned here. Huge gap up on earnings, consolidation, bull flag, breakout, and then follow through. And look where your target was right there. There's your next target's hitting. That's a good looking chart. There are opportunities. I mean, who was it? Bully that said it earlier. There's always a bull market somewhere, right? I mean,
that was me. That was me.
Was that with you, Ariel? Yeah. And okay, people can hate on Kramer all they want. Kramer's a very smart guy. People love to hate on him in Spawn. It's cool. I get it. But he's a smart guy, right? And that comment, regardless of who it came from, it is true. There's always a bull market somewhere.
Yeah. And by the way, like yesterday, I was like going through my new high list, just $5 and above, new 52-week highs. And it was littered. I mean, littered with healthcare. And by the way, that's been the case for a while. I don't care if you're looking at Lilly or a GMed, 52-week highs, like across the board it's just been. And then also, nobody wants to trade these names, but like retail apparel. Like, I don't know if you looked at the Gap today, GAP, or if you've looked at
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah. I mean, ANF is just starting to get back above the 200. At least it's trying. But you look at Ross Stores, TJ Maxx, I mean, Boot Barn, The Gap, AEO, American Eagle Outfitters, Zoomies, ZUMZ. I mean, these charts are all hitting highs, right? There's actually a nice chart. NU, that's like a really nice fintech name from Brazil.
Yeah, my two largest positions are Mercado Libre and Nubank. Those are my two largest positions right now. Because I still feel good about like Mercado Libre. I love the company, and I've just been buying the dip. That's why it's grown in my portfolio. Nubank, I continue to stay overweight this stock because look at the chart and the sector it's in and everything that's going on, and it's really doesn't care what the U.S. is doing a whole lot because it's mostly Latin America. I like this. I like the story, and look at this. This is a great looking chart to me. There's still very, very bullish looking structure.
Building higher lows. It looks like it could almost be ready for some more ads over that flat top structure too. Like that chart doesn't even look like it's done going. It looks like it's got more to go.
No, and like, look, you made this type of move. Okay, let's get some consolidation, and hopefully it does this. Obviously, I mean, if it doesn't, it doesn't. But you know, my cost basis is still like down here somewhere.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So I'm sitting very nicely here, and I'm not trimming. I have no reason to, but I really like that. When you compare that to some other charts, it just looked terrible. I don't know. In crypto, market bouncing back today. Crypto's doing this. Not a good sign. Did I just get my next? Oh, almost there. We almost just went back red on the Nasdaq, by the way.
The other one I like is Dollar Tree, DLTR. It reclaimed the 20 today in a big candle, big move up. Maybe get out.
Yeah, this is a good chart structure. You still have the rest of this gap technically to fill up here. I don't hate that. And you look at this huge point of control that you just pushed off of. When I zoom in,
4.5% today.
Right here. Dollar Tree looking good.
Discount.
DG even looks so good. So like DG here, hold it. You've got a 200-day moving up now after reclaiming. You've come down and held it multiple times, and then you get out of this little downtrend here. All the moving averages are like consolidated here too. This is a good look for a little springboard on DG.
Yep.
And speaking of discount stores, Walmart is just a powerhouse as well. Doing the
that's my other favorite.
Yeah,
that's my third largest position.
Heck of a base this thing has built all the way since February of this year. It's effectively at the same price it was in February. Giant daily base.
I think that's the point. Is like, you know, they talk about Costco. Even the higher end consumers are trading down a little bit, and I think you're going to see, you know, if there's any signs of recession or any signs of consumer weakness, you're going to see these names like Dollar General and Dollar Tree and Walmart that are going to perform a little bit better in a weakening consumer.
I mean, what's bearish about this chart compared to like the other 27 that everyone on X and you see people talk about the same names, companies and the same thematics. I get it, when they're hot, but you have to be able to pivot away from those and, like, you know, move somewhere else sometimes. I mean, like, nothing wrong with this chart right now, but you're buying at all-time highs. But I mean, still nothing wrong with this chart. I mean, still I wish Netflix would come back, but its chart's not good. It's not a good chart right now.
I'm short, man. Send it to 80.
When it gets under 100, I'll start buying more because I really like Netflix. But just looking at this, I can't just sit here and, you know, DCA when obviously the chart looks like it wants to go lower.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it's like the one thing to do at the moment where you're just kind of aligning yourself with the underlying trend at the moment for a Netflix. Doesn't matter, like you said, how strong this market has been or how strong of a bounce we've had from Friday until today. You know, Netflix looks awful. So if it wasn't for that MSCI rebalancing yesterday, this thing is probably even lower than yesterday's lows. That rebalancing took this thing like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 points yesterday. What did this thing move from? 104 to almost 108 basically in just a few minutes.
Which one was it?
Netflix, the rebalancing.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Netflix. Yeah, I was calling that out live on the space yesterday. Netflix, there was like a 6 million share buy imbalance right here.
I think that was the Morgan Stanley rebalancing.
Yeah, and when that happens, like, yeah, that's great for this move, but you're probably, I mean, it's low volume and it just sets up to come fill it back in.
Yeah, and look at exactly where it rejected too. It was the support level of just a few days ago when it broke down. And also really the breakdown of the most recent consolidation going back.
So here's your previous highs over here from February where it paused and then broke through. And then you see, like, look, resistance and resistance both right there. Even though it pushed back up into this, it's still there's, I don't know, multiple ways to look at this and say, I'm not ready to long Netflix.
Better to leave it alone for now.
Yeah.
It was that exact same level if you look at November 20th, where it did find some support intraday, and then it's exactly where we rallied up to yesterday, and that's kind of it. And for now, it just, you know, if Spotify's going down, I can't imagine Netflix performing too much better at the moment.
Yeah, see, that's an example of, like, at least multiple names in a sector should be doing well. Because, like, let's compare Disney too. Have you seen Disney's chart? This looks like death. And you just have all of this, like, gap area down here to come figure out. This is an ugly, it's just a nasty looking chart. Like, maybe not like crazy downside nasty looking, but just all this stuff is like, nobody knows what to do at Disney. This thing for like 3 years now has just gone from 120s back to like 80, 90.
It's been bad for years. Yeah, I was going to say, it's been a bad chart for years.
You know a trade that you can put on in there? I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably a good trade, Iron Condor. or strangle or something in that.
Just
in that
send
name.
it. Yeah, literally play it back to 100. No matter where it's at, it's just going back to 100. It's done this since 22. Like you get down here to 90 and it pops up, 115, 120. Get down here under 90, it pops back up over 110 to 115, 120. Same thing down here, 80 to 120s, 85 back to 115, 80, 120. This is the same pattern. It's actually wild for 3 years, and the market itself has been just in this raging bull market for 3 years.
They thought Bob Iger was going to save it, and he couldn't do it. No save.
No. And what happens to that kind of name if the market actually begins to pull back? Right? That's always my thinking.
Yeah. I always wonder, like, okay, some of these names, do they hide them for valuation, or do they just get absolutely wrecked? Like Nike. Talk about a fall from grace. Nike, nothing good about this chart. Starbucks has tried to base forever. Starbucks in the same, I mean, all over the place, right? But new CEO still not able to get it off its back here, consumer side of things.
And even like these shoe companies, man, like even on just, and I like their shoes, but
I love their shoes, and I cannot buy the stock anymore because it's just not cooperating. This is my old cost basis, $24. Like my old cost basis was down here. That's why this line's still here, and I just can't do anything with this right now. But apparel and retail has just been a tough trade the last few years.
Except recently. Yeah, I was about to say, I was looking at the gap earlier today, and this chart looks amazing. I mean, at least for now, the gap has a gigantic daily base too, as if it wants to go much higher. But they're a tough trade for sure. Yeah, gap, very impressive move today. But
yeah, see, this is a good looking chart at least. Beautiful. I mean, so you come down, little double bottom action, W out of it, and then you just consolidate.
Still a sloppy chart too, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're not.
We're trying to be excited here. Good God, what is this? Oh my.
Oh, they're not making it easy on some of these names. What was the other one?
You're still above this though, at least.
Yeah, it's trying its best.
Here's another name that I like that's involved in the energy stuff.
Yeah, utility. NEE.
Nextera.
Mm-hmm.
Huge base there. Recently made a big move up, consolidating. It still looks good. Your moving averages catching up to it. Consolidating right at a previous high. Kind of a cup, if you're a pattern person, kind of getting a little cup look to it. But it's had all this supply that's been fighting with for years. But I love this base right here. I'm long that name, just equity.
Is there another one? I think it was NRG as well was another one that was holding up well in that utility space. Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else, like the industrials. I've been looking at some of these charts on the industrials. I don't know if you've seen like
beautiful
Caterpillar.
I flag. Yeah, gorgeous.
There's Caterpillar just sitting up there. John Deere reclaimed. So yesterday, you're stuck under the 200-day for a while. You reclaim, you broke through it on this candle. You back tested it and held it perfectly, and you're pushing away from it. You're trying to get back into this consolidation area up here above 500. That chart still looks pretty decent to me. Oh yeah, Home Depot hit an old buy zone of mine. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's up big today on obviously lower rates.
Well, yeah, people got to start repairing all these houses that they bought with no inspections over the last 3 years. Put that one on. People talk about the home builder trade right and left, but if you're familiar with the real estate market, you know how many people were cash offers above the ask to get into a home the last 3 years. Really from 2021 to like early 24 is when most of that happened. And I just have a feeling, and Frank's talked about this too, the amount of homes with no inspections that went through is could be an issue. with just repairs. Yeah, think about like that could be, repairs have to start kicking up at some point.
Well, Lowe's is also one of those charts that, I just pulled it up. It just got above its 200 as well, but man, that thing also looks pretty horrible.
Yeah, like these are the type of charts where like the chart doesn't look like, it's not exciting, right? But it's not like so bad that it has to be repaired. This is the type of chart that needs a catalyst. Are we getting a big pop in the indices right here?
Yep. Is there news?
Didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't see nothing.
A Witkoff. The only thing I've seen the last few minutes. Probably just mechanical.
Getting into the last hour of the day too.
Yeah, we are going to have our futures show here in about 7 minutes. We'll have the futures crew joining us on here, but I'm glad Ariel came by today. I know last week things got a little bit crazy, but Nick was on here singing your praises a little bit. I know the two of you guys hang out. I did put in the chat just a little bit ago. Make sure you go follow Real Simple Ariel, as I would pronounce it down here with my neighbors.
Yes, sir. And we are getting a push. I just got an alert trigger for NU as well. Oh, yeah.
Oh, are we going to take out all-time high today?
It looks like it, dude. You're 7 cents away. Very nice move over the last handful of minutes.
I'm just going to send it.
Yeah, NU looks really good.
Melly, if you look left, I know the chart doesn't look fantastic, but you look left at some of these previous areas. Let me go to the weekly. So like, if you look at these from back here, we blew through those and we're coming back, and that's where we're, it's kind of like you drew these lines forever ago of like, hey, comes back to this box, I'll buy in that box, and that's started buying. Got under 2,000. I bought it at 19, just over 1,900, and nice reaction. That's kind of giving me some confirmation there that somebody wants to own it here.
Yeah, you.
Maybe just me. We'll see.
No, it's
but
good.
This chart doesn't look great. I mean, just to be fair, this chart doesn't look great, and this is one of the companies that I have conviction in, so I'll continue to buy it.
Yeah, I think they're a great business, honestly. I mean, and they're massive too. They're growing like a weed.
I don't think, well, if you've ever looked at I know you have, but just to
their EPS, their EPS went from $1.67 in 22 to $9.39 to $19 in 23 to almost $40 a share in 24, and their sales have gone from $4 billion in 2020 to $20 billion by 2024. So they're growing like crazy.
Look at this revenue growth over here on the right.
It's nuts. It's nuts.
And like, it's one of those, like, I use the company, I see them all the time. Like, I'm in traffic, like dodging through their vans. They look just like the FedEx vans, but they're bright yellow. You can't miss them. And every small business that I go into, like half of them, the payments, like the payment, like point of sale system is Mercado Pago. This is like Mercado Pay, if you want to put it that way. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's another huge like line of business that people don't realize. They have streaming business. They're all over. I mean, they're based in Argentina, but they're all over Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, everywhere in between.
Yeah, that's awesome. They got a stranglehold on South America.
Yeah, the fact that they are competing like very, very well with Amazon down here. And the difference is like Facebook Marketplace, for example, where people sell a bunch of stuff, kind of like eBay, like where you just sell a bunch of stuff. People do that on Mercado Libre down here. So they not only do they have all the regular stuff like Amazon, stores and all that stuff, they also have like your neighbor is selling, some used furniture or whatever on there. The car dealerships have their cars listed that are on their lot. They have them listed on Mercado Libre as well. So there's like tons and tons of like overlap of how big their marketplace is and their user base.
Can't see them getting a whole lot smaller. They're going to continue to grow. Nice job too on NU. It did go see that new all-time high.
Oh, let's go. My portfolio must be having a really good day.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is a new all-time high for NU.
It is, yes.
Sure is. That weekly chart on NU looks awesome too, man.
I'm up over 1% on my portfolio today. A good day. Especially with as much tech as I have in my portfolio. Beating the market. We'll take it.
You know what's strong today? I was just looking at is back to the junk bonds and credit. They're up. HYG has probably been, I think, leading the bounce. Look at that. Reclaimed them all.
Risk is coming back into the market. And then look at the Russell. It looks just like the Russell.
Also, I saw KRE. This is a breakout on KRE.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I said it was right up against the trend line. I said if that thing breaks, it's going to go
push
higher.
through, and you saw it push through with force. AWM, that's a previous all-time high that I have marked, like price. So reclaim of that looks really good. If it can, it's probably going to stop right here today, and then you need to push over that. No, that's 3 big candles in a row, though. What a move. How big is this move?
Massive.
7% 3 days.
Yeah, if we can get home builders into the mix, then we're really going to have some broadening out participation too. Yeah, that's a huge move for like LEN as well. Past 3 days, Toll Brothers.
Yeah, Lennar, Toll Brothers, Pulte.
And Toll doesn't look bad. Look at how nice LEN or TOL actually looks.
I mean, I just eyeball this quickly. It's a quick ball, and you can see that flag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can't really complain about what home builders look like here. And then I want to say Pulte's another big one. Yeah, and a nice bounce off the 200-day just a handful of days ago too.
Yeah. Lennar's the other one that I know a lot of people like. Lennar. Some of these charts look pretty good over here.
Yeah, they're just starting to turn, and they might just run into the rate cut, which I think that would be amazing. That would make for a nice run for the next handful of weeks.
Yeah, and honestly, if that's what happens and those run and the rest of the market kind of just tracks its way back up and repairs the charts, then you're setting up for a much better look. There's IWM new high of day over that previous double top all-time high.
Yeah, and the double leverage nail ETF is up 13.5% today.
Yeah, I was about to say, I bet that one's flying 13.5.
Yeah. That's good. Party is back on.
It's always a party somewhere.
That's right. And it's crazy because we've said it, like you've got this big move going on in the market since Friday, and you just look at Netflix and it doesn't even budge. It doesn't.
Well, you know what's still bothering me even beyond that?
Bitcoin?
I mean, if risk is back on,
why is Bitcoin red on the day?
Why is crypto all red? All of it. MSTR is at the lows.
Yeah, can't even find a buyer.
Do you think that is it because maybe Bitcoin doesn't innovate anymore? Like it is what it is, right? It's a mature asset at this point that's been around for more than a decade. There is no real innovation taking place within the.
I do like that argument. I like the argument that the newness is worn off.
It's mature, right? Which is like the whole thing of like when I hear Saylor saying something to the effect of, "Oh, we still have it going to 150,000 by year end." So you have it going up 75% in the next 5 weeks, right? Like that's just insane. it doesn't move like that anymore. There's just too much institutional control over it for it to really move like that. It's too big of an asset for it to in 5 weeks, right? This isn't like some speculative stuff anymore. It's a well-established asset that's over a decade old. So, and there is no newness, right? Like that's one of the things that makes any stock, and I know Bitcoin isn't that, right? It's like this store of wealth. But like what makes any individual stock move is like some new product, some new innovation, some new theme, some new something. Bitcoin doesn't really have that. And you're in Mexico, so I guess I could ask, are there people there who use Bitcoin daily for transactions?
No, they're trying to grow the popularity of it. It's funny because you actually see it a lot, but it's all expats that are, like Americans that have Bitcoin that are building these Bitcoin cafes and stuff, and a lot of like, these like remote workers and stuff, people that have moved to Mexico City or people that have moved over to like the Cancun, all that area. That's the only place I see like a ton of Bitcoin. Actually, everywhere else, they're looking at Ethereum way more because it makes way more sense as a like transaction payment type of method.
Interesting. Why Ethereum? I don't know why one over the other.
I think you get into like the gas fees, the networks, and all the stuff that's built on top of it, and then the supply stuff. I don't know, stable coins. You start to get real deep into the weeds, and I don't want to speak out of place. I know enough to be dangerous for the conversation, but that's where more people are interested as far as like the payment structure stuff. I mean, Bitcoin, the store value, but when you have digital gold that's well underperforming the entire market and actual gold, which still looks pretty good, I don't know. That doesn't help you either. I saw Nara slide in here. Ariel, you're welcome to hang out with us. We are going to talk futures here. I think some of the futures crew may slide in here this afternoon. Nara.
Thank you for having me on, guys.
Yeah, Ariel, thanks for coming. I did put that. I'll highlight that one more time here. It's in the YouTube chat. Make sure you go follow Ariel. Check him out. Check out him and Nick Drendel and the rest of the crew. They've got a nice group over there, nice room. If you want to learn more, Ariel's a very smart guy on a lot of our Spaces shows as well. Hopefully you'll come back, Ariel. Hang out with us again.
Absolutely, brother. We'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Talk soon, Ariel. Have a good one.
Take care.
Later, fellas.
All right, Mr. Nara. What's going on?
What's going on?
10-2. The Patriots are 10-2, man. That's what's going on. They haven't beat a good team yet, but they're 10-2.
The Bills aren't good. The Bucs aren't good.
The Bills are not the Bills. You beat the Bucs with a hurt Mayfield.
Okay. Well,
you beat a bunch of nobodies.
Well, you know what happened when every year that Brady won the Super Bowl?
But you're 10-2.
Play anybody. Good teams beat the ones they're supposed to beat.
That's the counter argument I always make anyway, and I'm so glad that you just come with that.
It's the NFL. Sure. Every team can play. We beat the Panthers, who are now 6-5. I mean, that didn't look like a good win then, but I mean that might be a playoff team in the NFC.
Could be. They looked terrible last night. They had 3 interceptions in the first half, and they couldn't score.
Or whatever it was. So the Patriots are back. You're just gonna have to deal with it. Where's Evan? Evan's gonna another decade of crying for Jets fans. 22-year-old quarterback. So
all of New York sports, the Yankees are the only decent team in New York, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. What have you been up to? Did you get in anywhere this morning on that dip, or you just been watching?
Yeah,
what's going on?
So I was able to. So obviously it's Thanksgiving week. I got a lot of family coming this week. We're actually the first year hosting it, Casa de Nara. So a lot of work getting ready for stuff like that. So I've been running my automated stuff, and I had a phenomenal long today at, what did this get long at? I'm 67.36, and it exited at 63. And that's it. That's the only trade I've taken today, so that was a good one.
Yeah. I've been fighting my way around a couple times. I just had a feeling when they held so well this morning, and everything like ES looked much better than tech, and it just kept holding with this like 720 area. And I was like, they're gonna, like, institutions are away. They're gonna just end up just floating this thing higher. And sure
How
enough,
many? I
here we
mean,
go.
we've been doing this future space together now for just about a year, every Tuesday, and every Tuesday of holiday weeks, I say the same thing. And there's been maybe one or two exceptions. Holiday weeks are retail volume weeks. Retail is long only, and they just tend to grind higher. It's you don't tend to get these big sell-offs in these holiday weeks because the volume is not there. Volume needs to sort of overwhelm the selling. So all day we've seen volatility since yesterday. I'm looking at the VIX since yesterday when it opened at 22.50. We're down $4 on the VIX. Just been nonstop vol selling all day today. We've seen ticks in the 600 to 1,000, 1,200 range. We're coming into, I think we are reclaiming the 50-day. Yep, we reclaimed the 50-day on the Nasdaq. We are not there yet. 100 points away on the Nasdaq, almost exactly.
We topped out on NDX.
We actually just reclaimed the 20-day on ES.
Like here, it's right here on NDX, literally at the high of where we're sitting.
Yeah, so we get over this area, right? I mean, that more volume comes in. You got a lot of systematic sort of midterm trading systems that go long over, moving averages, and they stay long. You've got the 20-day and the 50-day pretty much converging here on ES. They're 20 points apart. Yeah, I think it's been since yesterday when I sort of started getting long some different stocks, or the other day I started getting long some stocks. We had a 100-day test, break, and reclaim. I mean, that's a pretty normal bull market thing, and we'll see if we go and just come back and start to auction higher again. I think it's very, very possible that we just come and auction higher. It's been a fun market. It's been a really fun market the last couple of weeks. I would love to see volatility stay north of 18. I don't know if it happens, but that would be sort of the dream, is we keep vol up over 18-ish. Yeah, we're definitely coming into some areas of resistance here.
I have way too many lines on this SPX chart.
Do the Gov move every morning. I'm on stream with him in our room, and he literally just hits the delete all drawings button every day and does it over again.
Let's see. Let's previous all-time high, exactly right there. And let's draw normal fib retrace is exactly basically right there too.
Yeah.
Golden retrace. And the Nasdaq hadn't even done we hadn't even got the half back of this move down yet.
What's the half? I mean, 50-day underside test is 25,135 on on NQ. On NDX, it's probably here.
NDX, it's like right here. I mean, your half back of the move is 25K, 25,018. Your 50-day is sitting at 25,970, 980, which is we're 20 points under it. So That's why like the only thing that
24,980, you mean?
yeah, I'm sorry, 24,980. So it's like literally right here.
Yeah.
Freaking
I
high.
think you're going to see. I think there's a potential for a press into the close here in the last 50 minutes. I think it's very possible that we go and at the very least we go play around the NQ 100 day, which is 110 points higher.
This is your simplistic view of the 50-day right here.
Yeah.
Right at the high. And like you said, I'm still concerned, which it could last, through the end of the week, but this entire push up has been on like low volume.
Yeah, I mean we'll deal with next week when next week comes. But
I'll keep that in mind for next week, of course. But like when I look at yesterday and today, both a falling volume on rising price.
And tomorrow will be even less.
Probably, yeah. And does it push even higher tomorrow on less volume, which is very possible.
100%.
And you clear up.
Friday's a half day, is that right?
Friday is 1 p.m. close, I believe.
So I mean, it's tomorrow's
bond
full
market.
day, correct?
Yeah, tomorrow's full day.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't like trading these weeks. I don't mind trading these weeks. They're pretty easy price action normally.
I usually find a good like on Friday on those half days, those holiday half day things. I usually find a good like get in on a dip somewhere and you can literally just let it ride.
That's what I did yesterday. That's what I did for a good part of
That's what I should have done today.
I'll
be kicking myself that I didn't do that today.
I had some holiday trading days in yesteryear that I tried to short, and it's just it just doesn't go well normally. Thanksgiving, Christmas, July 4th week, they just the big money's on a in the Hamptons already or in Aspen.
Yeah, they're already out there.
And,
that turkey's marinating already.
Yeah, no, we're the only dummies sitting here looking at screens, and so I think they tend to be really sort of mild days that tend to just meander and float higher. Especially if we had a sort of VIX go up. What did we top out at on the VIX? 26, 25?
Yeah, something like that. Let me see.
You're just getting sort of
28
vol selling now, and
it's just
look at the last 2 days. It's just pure vol. I mean, right now we're getting a 1,200, almost 1,200 tick on the New York Stock Exchange. All day we've been sitting in like the 800 to 1,200 range.
Yeah, and your passive buying has been very strong today too.
Like it doesn't even need to be options driven or anything on days like this. It's just that sort of passive.
Yeah, just a slow grind to the upside. That's what it's been all day.
Yeah. Yep. It's not like violent. I think we got back into positive gamma this morning, if I remember. Don't. Is that a Renko chart there? No. It's just.
No, this is Valdi versus Valdi.
It looks like
a Renko chart. That's funny.
Does it look like a Renko chart?
Yeah, well, it's just clear volume, just volume buying all day. It hadn't even really downticked. Valdi Q did downtick just a little bit ago, right here, but it's pushed back up to new highs of the day.
Yep.
Yeah, the ES is sitting right on the 4-hour 200 period.
Yeah, I think the Nasdaq sort of having room to keep going, I think could be what could pull ES. If Nasdaq's been the laggard, it's been the laggard all day. You got SPOO's up 0.8, you got Q's up 0.4. Not IWM up 2.3, but
almost 2.5.
But I mean, you get some of the cues. Those players starting to play catch up. That could really get.
Yeah, the interesting thing is you have like Walmart. I mean, not Walmart. You have Walmart's just a Mag 7 stock in my brain. Now you have Microsoft coming off its 200-day. You have Meta super oversold that could work its way back up even higher. It's trying to turn the corner a little bit. You have Amazon that just bounced off its 200-day for a second time in a month after making all-time high, and the rest of them are all up, near all-time high. Apple, Google. You've got even like Broadcom's in that top 10 weighting that's doing very well. They're kind of all over the map, but in that, the scenario you're talking about there, if you do start playing some catch up, then, you could easily see the market repair itself pretty quick. Now, those charts are like, there's a lot of broken charts that need to be repaired, but at the same time, time of the year, all that stuff. I do hate how many times I'm seeing the word Santa Claus rally, because this is probably the dumbest thing I've seen this year is the Santa Claus rally. We're not even close to when that actually is. And seasonality's been off the entire year, and now people want to talk about the Santa Claus rally. Like, I'm just so confused. People are doing with those.
Santa Claus rally is the last week of the year. It's not
the last week of the
I think the thing that sticks out for me in this week is I just cannot believe Bitcoin is so weak. Like that to me, like it's led the whole move down, and like I would expect it to lead the move out. That's just from a risk side.
Talk about a broken chart. Good.
At least get a bounce. I mean, you've had 2 days in the S&P up, 100.
Look at this. You came straight down. You got one green day. You came down one green day. Came down. You finally got 2 green days in a row, and you're not even really getting to a 9 EMA and rejecting.
Right.
And you're flirting with disaster here still.
I just think, like we talked about, I think the line in the sand is I want to break that upper trend line north of 68.25 in SPX. That's when I think we're in the all clear and we go higher. If we don't break above that area, I still think that we got maybe some resistance up there. A lot of congestion in here. Anything can happen. Like we still got to take out Thursday's high, which is what is that, 91? Or,
which one, sorry?
67.70 on SPX.
Oh, SPX.
Which is last Thursday's high. We haven't taken that out yet. 6770.35.
Just clean this up here.
So the other thing is you're going into that high, very overbought. RSI at 84. So let's see
what's overbought.
I just said I'm looking at an hourly on SPX, and we're coming into this high, and approaching 84 on the RSI. So momentum is obviously up the last few days, but you're coming into an area of resistance.
Where's the rest of your crew? Are they all on vacation?
Gov took a spill the other day, so he is getting checked out at the old Dr.
Ooh.
And Lee is going to be here shortly. He has family in town for the holiday, and I believe he was playing golf this morning. So he played golf this morning, and he's going to be here in a little while.
Oh. There's been some definitely bright spots. My largest position hit a new all-time high today, so
That's always nice when it does that.
it's always nice when it does that when the market's not doing much.
I mean, some of my laggard positions are really starting to heat up, which is really great. Albemarle, ticker ALB. I've been in that one for a while, but that one's really starting to heat up, and that has a lot of room to the upside if lithium wants to get moving.
See, this is a good looking chart. There's a lot of like the same names that I hear every day.
What's that?
I hear this. I hear like the same 20 names every day around different, spaces and X and everything.
Yeah, you don't.
And
really
all
hear.
almost all those charts look bad, and then I get other names like this, and I'm like, okay, this is a good looking chart.
This is a great looking chart. I mean, this has been a laggard for like 2 years. It's finally sort of breaking this downtrend. It's got some real low volume right ahead where it could sort of skip like a rock back to $200. I think that this is a great one to be pressing a little into, but it's also a volatile name that is a commodity name that has a lot of commodity exposure that comes with some additional inherent risk.
Is this an American company? Where are they based?
The largest lithium mining company in the world.
Oh, they're all over. Yeah. This is really like gappy action. It almost looks like a European or a Chinese name.
It's a jumpy name. It's always been a jumpy name. It's a really fun name to trade because it's sort of ranges can be really, really good. It's liquid on the option side reasonably. It's a good name, but I owned it from around $200. I stopped out at like $150 and I started buying it again at like $120, and I bought the thing all the way down to, I don't know, $70. And just kept sort of buying small pieces of it every week. So I have about an $80-something average on it now. But I think that can be a really, really strong name in the sort of cyclical type environment. The other name that I have a lot of that I'm really waiting for it to go, I mean, I'm up a lot on it right now, is AQST. It's a biotech. Sort of a small cap, but they have a catalyst coming in January. So I like
the
that.
Bios have been hot too.
The
whole sector. You look at XPI.
I mean, AQST, I was buying in the $354 range. We have a biotech guy in our Discord. He's all over this one. I guess their catalyst is in early January. Some data coming out, but this company is financially in a good spot. They're not going to raise money, so it's a good one where you have sort of a good risk reward setup for quite a bit higher. But it's just sort of been sitting at this $5.56 range for a while. I think it probably will until January. So. See how that one goes. The other chart that's really good, and I'm sure this one's been on the radar on some spaces too, AMP is Rivian. But that's a good looking setup here. If you go back and really sort of zoom out, it's been in this sort of flag or channel for, I don't know, since mid 2024, maybe a little earlier. So it bounced off that area very nicely. I took some profits on it last week around 18, I believe it was, or 17.50. I think this is sort of gearing up for a real explosive move higher. Don't know when. It really could be any time, but I think this has a $30 sort of move in it in the next 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, Rivian, My only concern is the profitability. And once they hit that, I think they'll get going very nicely. But until they hit that,
Yeah, it's a nice buying name if you can buy it in the 11, 12 range and sell it in the 15, 16 range.
yeah, it just keeps doing the same.
So I've been doing that, and I mean, I've just reduced my cost basis over and over and over again. I believe I've done it 3, maybe 4 times. So we'll see how it goes, but I think it's a name that I do want to keep some exposure to. I think they're sort of one. I don't like saying the word due, but I think they're due for a pretty good.
You own Rivian?
What's that?
You own Rivian?
I don't.
Oh no.
Well, I own the stock. I don't own a Rivian truck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm a Toyota truck
Rivian.
guy.
Where's my? I just bought Rivian in October.
Probably in that $12 range, right? I don't know what it was in October.
Yeah, like $13.
Yeah, I
Like
think that's a
20%.
good spot to own it. I mean, I think you can keep trimming it in 16, 17 range and rinse, repeat until it does something, and just keep reducing that cost basis. So it makes you sort of be able to take that shot with reduced risk.
Yeah,
but not reduced risk, but not reduced size. That's my goal. Is not having reduced size, but having reduced risk.
Did you get that gap fill trade?
Which one today? No.
Was there a gap fill trade or no?
No gap fill trade today. It was too small.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
There was on IndieX if you got it, and I mean, but it was just tough to play it.
Yeah, so like the automated gap fill strategy that we have, and everyone.
Oh, the automated.
That's what I was asking about. I was wondering if that triggered.
How I set that up is I have a minimum gap requirement where I also have a maximum. I don't want, if we gap down, 4%, 3.5. I think mine's set at 3%. I'm not.
Yeah, you're not going to try and play that gap fill. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's just too high of a risk trade. I'm not going to be shooting for that. I'll let my other systems play that if it comes down to it. But a lot of people have it set up so it's like for me, my minimum gap to play is 0.2%. But if we're gapping down like 0.1%, it's not even going to consider a trade.
Yeah.
Today, I think I only do it on ES. A lot of folks do it on NQ2, but I only do it on ES.
It seems that majority of the automation strategies are cleaner on ES for some reason.
ES is a cleaner price action for automating,
Yeah.
and you have a whole lot less slippage. NQ, you can trigger a stop or an entry on a nasty wick. ES is less likely to do that. So my preference on if I'm trading, there's 3 instruments I really enjoy automating: ES, GC, and silver. Oil, I'm searching high and low for an oil strategy. If you got an oil strategy that's killer, audience, shoot me a message, please.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys will get into it in the next hour, but we're launching our strategy marketplace in the next 2 weeks. So a lot of cool stuff going to be coming out from the general public, that people that have built stuff and built successful systems that are going to be available to purchase access of through our marketplace to automate through us. So really excited. I've been looking at a lot of stuff from people that people have been sending our way. Some really cool stuff that's going to be launching on the marketplace on day one. A cool 1-minute orb strategy that trades NQ. Just a really, really fun strategy that just kills it. That's going to be launching the strategy actually that I wrote today that took that nice ES trade long that's going to be available for access to. There's going to be a couple gold strategies. Really want to find an oil one. So, if anyone out there has something that they've had success running oil, please shoot me a message.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Clear Edge Automation is an official sponsor of the stream. So if you guys haven't tried it out, you want to get into the automation, make sure you guys are trying it out. I can get a link for you. But we're going to talk about it in this next hour. So
yeah,
we'll deep
and
dive
I
a
think
little bit more.
Have a code Wolf. I believe it gets you a free trial as well as $50 off. So if you guys use that code, you can come try it out for free and see what it can do, because it's a fun tool. If you're a futures trader and you're not automating, I think that you're missing out on a fair amount of cash flow, because that's what I use it for. I mean, my manual trading is still my bread and butter, so I make my money. Automation cash flows for me and helps, on the days where I'm busy, or like Smoothie's out playing golf today. Wish I was playing golf, but those are the days where automation really does well.
That's where it's nice.
Boy, today would have been a perfect day for golf.
I know.
It's a little cold here. I mean, Monday starts hunting season for me, so I will be.
What season opens up? Deer or duck?
Deer, yes. Shotgun. I don't do archery. I'm not a big fan of archery, and I don't have the patience for archery. But,
he says, "Give me a shotgun."
So I'm going to be sitting in a tree.
What do you use? A slug?
Yeah. I have 20 gauge.
That's fun, gosh. Did you play anything today, Laura? Manually?
Manually, no.
Nah, you just kicked back. Yeah, it was a weird morning.
No, I've been. So this is one of the strategies that's going to be on the marketplace. I can share my screen if you guys want. Yeah, this is one of the ones that's going to be on the marketplace when the marketplace launches. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Whoever commented there, always available to help. But this is. Did I share my screen? Did it work?
We're gonna get it up right now. There it is.
Yeah, so this is one of the ones that's going to be on the marketplace. Pretty cool strategy. Yesterday, I got a nice long here. This is it's adaptive sort of price targeting and stop. But today's trade was a nice one. 1287. This is trading one ES contract today. Yesterday was a nice trade. It does lose. I mean, automation loses too, but this is a really, really nice strategy.
Wow, that's solid.
Well, this isn't a long back test. This back tests well back to 2018, and there are limitations on TradingView's back test. This does not have a trail stop in it, so
that's a true back test then.
This is a true back test. This one, and I've been testing this for quite some time now, and this one is a true back test. So this is going a year. This is $100,000 strategy trading. It's a little bit dynamic side. It has something called a martingale in it for those that don't use automation. Martingale is an adaptive sizing that sort of plays the numbers for you. If it's had a bunch of losses in a row, it can scale your size up a little bit. So if you don't understand what a martingale does, don't use a martingale. But this is a really nice strategy that, like this trade here the other day, this was 2 contracts, right? Because it had taken a stop on this last trade. So actually taken 2 stops in a row. So it actually.
I love whatever strategy this is.
Yeah, this is a 30-minute strategy. Essentially, it just is very clean. It works really, really well. I run this on a 150K account, prop firm account. This is the only thing I run. I have it on NQ also. It's a little different on NQ, but this is it on NQ. It's a little more volatile. But this one actually is the last 90 days on NQ. Same thing. And I think this one back tests pretty good back to. It's a little different, but the last year it did not quite as well as ES, but it manages risk very well. It also has a filter on this one. It's it doesn't trade well during FOMC week like most of NQ stuff. So in a week before. So in FOMC must be next week.
2 weeks.
December 10th.
Yeah, so it has a blocker that blocks out statistically days where it doesn't do well. So this is NQ. It runs on a 22-minute chart on this one. This
Interesting.
is the ES one that runs on a 30-minute chart. That's one that's going to be available on the store. This one also is going to be available on the store. This is a 1-minute breakout. So this is the last 90 days on this one. This is an opening range breakout. This is how this is set is on 1NQ, but I trade this on and I run it to micros, and I run this one at $1,000 risk on the trading view side. When I run it on micros, I run it so each micro I add is $100 risk, right? So if I set it up this way on purpose at $1,000 risk, so it would break down my micros. So if I have a 50K account, I can run this on 2 micros and I know it's $200 risk. I can run it on 3 and I know it's $300 risk. So this is a really nice strategy too. That gets some big wins in here too. So yeah, I mean, this one last week was a beauty, 4,500 on one contract of NQ. So I run this on 5 micros, so it was about 2,250 or whatever this one was. So this is a nice strategy, but you can see how it contains your losses here at the $1,000 range.
Yeah, it's always a consistent loss.
Yeah, so you know it's not going to have losses that are more than 1,000, right? So if you run this on MNQ, which I would suggest you do, and then you can just sort of, if you have one account that is a 150K account with a 6,000 drawdown, right? You can run it as a 600 risk. And I say that, it's essentially you get 10 trades before you can knock yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Statistically, you're not going to knock yourself out. So those are just 2 that are available, that are going to be available the first day of the marketplace opening, which we're looking at in a couple of weeks.
I love those. Those are going to be fun.
Yep. This is another one too. I don't have it set up right. Where is it? It's got to be one of these. I always forget which. Yep, this is it. This is a long only strategy. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play with this one yet, but some other folks in our room have been playing with this one a lot. This runs on a 1-minute chart on MNQ, but essentially what it's trying to do is capture the fact that the market goes up over time, right? So it's just trying to be long, and it manages your risk right, and it's trying to find a spot to get long and stay long. So yeah, you're right. I could use a couple more trading.
Oh yeah. You need to use the grouping.
But what's crazy too is I actually know where everything is.
Yeah.
So because I run every one of my automated stuff on its own tab, on its own workspace.
That's what I do. That's what I do too.
It helps me stay organized, so I don't get out of whack. But this is in those that are, I think Tommy's in here, that use the gap fill strat. I did not get a trade here because the gap was too small. I have it set up where, minimum. So 0.3% of a up or down day would be my minimum to take a gap fill trade. But if you adjust this, right, I think this probably would have taken a trade today if you have it at 0.1.
Yeah.
What brokers is it available on?
So anything that Tradify, Ninja, both cash and prop firms that do both of those. Any prop firm that does Project X, and we're working on a couple others at the moment to hopefully get them going for other cash accounts that we've had. So essentially any prop firm you can run it on. Or if you have cash at Tradivator or NinjaTrader, I run a cash account through NinjaTrader.
Okay, got it. Nice. I gotta check that out for sure.
Yeah, if you want, you certainly can send me a message. I can help you get going there. And
Yeah, I will
yeah.
do that. I trade primarily on toss, and I trade options on Tasty. So those are kind of
Yeah, I
two
mean,
players.
what I would recommend you do is get it running and run it for like a month on like a Tradify demo account. Finagle with the sizing and the positions and the combos of strategies. I actually did a webinar that was about an hour long, and I talked about sort of the layering of risk. Every additional strategy you add into automation. I talk about how, say you're running a strategy that trades once a day, but you have two different strategies there. You have one on NQ, one on ES, and they take $400 risk, right? Your risk is not really 400, it's 800, right? Now you add in another strategy that's taking a third trade, that's 400. Your risk now goes to 1200 per day. And I think that's where people get caught up is, right? You're not risking 400, you're risking as much as your sort of what's in play every day. So I think that's where people can oversize pretty easily.
Yeah, as I would say, size is a killer.
Yeah, size is what will absolutely maul people.
It's the one thing that'll just nuke you, even if you're running automation.
100%. I mean, I can't tell you how many iterations of things that I've done. This is like almost year 4.
You wake up, you ran 3 different strategies on one account. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
that's blown up.
like made a mistake and like had 2 different things going, and or messed up and put it on NQ versus MNQ, or those mistakes happen, and you learn from the scar tissue of your prior ones. But we really try and make it so that people have the resources to put themselves in a position to succeed. Because it really is it's a fun thing to do. It's a fun sort of thing to learn. Yeah, backtesting strategies from indicators. There are some softwares out there, Tommy, that I can put you on, but it's tough because, especially if you're using any sort of dynamic bracketing, where your bracketing changes from trade to trade, which we have dynamic bracketing we just put out an update today, Jordan. So you actually need to update your software.
Will do, yeah.
Dynamic bracketing went out, so you can now sort of program brackets into your stuff. And you're muted now.
Yeah, Imp is muted.
I was talking to Discord, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
No, the automation is especially getting started in it. To keep the size right, it takes out, and it runs a strategy, with what you want to do, not what you're thinking. And I think that's a really key element.
It is, and I think that there's like this misconception that we get a lot, that it's like some magic or like voodoo, that like just like you click the on button and money appears in your bank account. And that's not how it works. How it works is that you still have to tell it how much you want to risk. You have to tell it essentially what you want the strategy to do and how you want the strategy to do it. We put that framework out there for our users, right? So we offer 3 strategies to get people started. By no means it's the end game. It's a starting point. But it will allow people to start realize, okay, well, if I have X amount of risk on this strategy per trade, what's the worst I can do? What is the worst situation I can find myself in? And you always want to understand those, the worst position you can find yourself in moments, right? Because that's really where you can get in trouble. If you can stay out of those situations, you can be in good shape. But it's not a magic click a button and money appears in your bank account. No, it's a system that allows you to take all of the elements out of your trading that have lost you money over time, which is emotion, over trading, oversizing. Automation fixes those issues that are common retail trader issues. Tradify does allow automation. There's very few prop firms that don't allow automation anymore.
One of them tried to ban it, and then they got shunned
there
so
was
hard.
way too much backlash from it. The industry is going towards, I think it was, there's a new one that just recently, like one of their big updates, I think it was, is it My Funded Futures, or I can't remember which one it was, that just sent out something that automation's allowed. The futures desk, which is one of my favorites, because they put you to a live cash account very quickly. They are fully in favor of automating. I've had conversations with their team. Our software is compatible with their stuff. If your prop firm doesn't allow automation, find a new prop firm.
We're trading it, just not to cut you off, but SPX is at last Thursday's high. So we're trying to take that high
Run
up,
it.
67.70.
They're still selling the VIX.
It's just trying to break it over, and we just finished half back on the Nasdaq.
And we're still seeing tick sort of maintain 700-800. They're still selling the VIX. I think that there's a good chance that we're going to 6,800 on ES here before the end. We got 10 minutes. I could see a 10, 15 minute push here.
MOC in 1 minute.
Tommy, you're on here. Make sure you update your software. Go to clearedge.trading/downloads, or go to our website and click on the downloads tab. Download the new software. We just put out a big release today of an update. So here you go. Here's the push into the MOC. Man, I don't have any skin in the game at this point, but
They're buying everything.
Yeah, just buy it all.
NVIDIA, Amazon, Apple, everything's a buy.
Max bid.
Smash the buy button. Let's see, where are we closing here, Will? Are we going to be... Yep, we're 20 points now away from the 50-day on NQ. So we did get pulled right back over it. We're actually over the 50 and 20-day on ES now. So this ain't slowing, I don't think. We have 20 points more on NQ till the 50-day that could reject, but feels like the other stuff's going to yank it now. Yeah, they just sold the VIX even harder right now, too. I have my daily chart up here. NQ on the right, 50-day, you can see 25,137.
Meta 636 now, just ramping.
Yeah, send it.
Insane. That one has been a monster. That has been my best trade of the week by far.
Just sitting long today?
No, I put on some butterflies on Friday for this week's expiration in Meta. The 620, 660, 700 broken wing butterfly there. So they're up huge. Paid $1.90. They're marking for 17.
Smo's going to get on with you guys for the Clear Edge combo in a couple minutes too. I do have to take off in about 10, but
Sounds
he's going to
good.
get on and I gave you guys my perspective on it. You get a different perspective from him, which is always good to, he has a different style than I and explains things a little differently. So
Yeah, it sounds good.
They're ripping this in the close.
Beauty. Yeah, I think there's a good shot at this. I mean, we're still 15 points away from the 50 on NQ. We get over that into the last 5 minutes of the day, I think it's really going to end up getting a little squeezy. And Tommy, if your indicator's any good, you know, we can talk, and if it's something that does well, we can always see if it's a fit for the marketplace too, if you've had some success with it. Want to give people as much opportunity to use different things and find what works for them. It's not about, no, I don't want it. It's yours. You know, I don't need. I got enough stuff. Look at all my tabs. I don't need another one.
Here we go. Taking out last Thursday's high. Let's see if they can close it above it. Close it above the 67.70 mark.
NQ's got the room. Could yank it. And that's how I trade a lot. I learned that from Gov is we if NQ has room, you know, it can really push ES through levels. I mean, now we're still sustaining a tick here at 600-700. It hasn't slowed down.
They're trying to send it. They're trying to send it to the NQ has room to 150s.
Yeah, I mean NQ's literally right at the 50-day. So I maybe we get over that, but if it does reject, I mean that's not a crazy spot for it to reject.
Why are the games not working?
Oh, there's Smooth. What'd you shoot?
How's it going?
What was his final score? He parred the first hole. I believe it probably didn't happen again.
Actually, I was very surprised.
Wow.
I was very happy. I shot a 93.
Wow, that's not horrible.
For the first time, I haven't played it.
It's pretty good. I usually shoot a 73 on the front nine.
You seen those TikToks where the guy calls the clubhouse and asks the guy at the clubhouse, "Hey, what's the course record?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh,
I love those.
A 65," and he was like, "Well, I think I just broke it. That's the 9-hole course record."
You're not going to believe me if I tell you this, but I don't know if my camera will show it. But you see what number golf cart they gave me?
I can't.
You can't make it out. And it was number 69.
I knew it. I was guessing that. I'm like, it has to be 69. What else? That's great.
Typical. It was fun. It was a fun day, though.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Need a day off every now and again.
Heck yes.
Did your automation make you money while you were away?
A couple accounts made money. Couple lost a little, but
There's very little better than playing golf and having your computer make you money.
my accounts playing the orb strategy killed it.
Yeah, that I was just showing these guys the couple of strategies that are going on the marketplace. I actually onboarded the gentleman who's going to be offering that orb strategy today, so getting him ready to go. We got another week or so. Yeah, about another week or so.
Nara, that's the right link, right?
I'm looking at it right now for you.
Okay.
I didn't care if I lost money today.
No.
I was on a high from my 93.
Send me that link
Give me 1 second. Let me just double check that you're.
Oh, the market's at a 61.8 here.
Yeah, about to close it up.
And a monthly pivot.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody else is watching that too. See, Nasdaq's at halfback.
I didn't look at the Nasdaq yet. Let's see. Oh yeah, 25,150.
Just double checking something for you right now, Jordan.
Okay, no worries. All good.
Did I mention?
I'm just trying to get out of a bad trade over here.
Oh no.
I'm trying to close. I sold the 75. I'm good. 75.80 call spread right at the close against those previous day's highs. And it is at 90%. 55 seconds. You guys done anything with automating on the option side yet, or is any?
We haven't. So really, we're a software company, and our software is the execution engine for automating future strategies. Options side, I mean, maybe someday we'll look into it, but there's a whole lot more. I had something fill here. Oh, I just had something get long. There's a whole lot more into the option side and automating options, but that was a long way of saying no. We don't do options yet.
Gotcha. Yep.
I'm sure as things progress, that'll be something to look at down the line. But I know that's tough with the whole options chain and everything.
Yeah, it is incredibly tough. And I don't think I want to get into the options strategy business either. I think that's a really tough business. I mean, maybe the software to execute an option strategy might be something that we look into, but actually having options strategies, I think, is a very difficult game.
Yeah, I agree. It's tough. Futures make it simple. Smooth.
Yeah.
How's the week been for you? I haven't done much this week, to be honest. I haven't got what I wanted.
I took one trade yesterday. I didn't trade at all today because I was on the golf course. And I probably won't take a trade till next week.
It's just, yeah, the Thanksgiving week is tough. This is when we let the automation really run and do its thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just typically, it's pretty low volume. Everyone's traveling and doing their thing, so we try and take advantage of market conditions that are beneficial to whatever edge we trade. And when the volume goes away, it doesn't really coincide with good trading decisions.
Yeah. What have been some of the strategies you've been running? If you want to share your screen, you can too.
Yeah, I will stop sharing mine so he can take over here.
Yeah, sure. Feel free.
And guys, I actually have to jump off, so I'm going to leave you guys with Smooth. But I did put that code for you in the chat, Jordan.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Have a
Appreciate
good
it.
Thanksgiving, guys. If I don't talk
Yeah,
to you,
you too. Have a good
wonderful holiday.
Thanksgiving. Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
We'll talk soon. All right, we get your screen now, Smooth.
I'm up. All right. Yeah, so this is pretty much, what I was running today. Couple size down, obviously, for the week, but couple nice wins on the S&P and the Nasdaq, and this is one of our strategies, which is the opening range breakout, which can be customized in lots of different ways, but essentially it's trying to get a nice trend out of the market, and actually just had a forced time exit on it. So on the S&P, the Nasdaq closed around lunchtime, so I got long here at 20, basically just under 24,894, and exited just over 25,000. So took some nice points out of the market. S&P got long 67.35 and just exited at 67.84. So pretty nice day for that strategy. Our other strategies, this is our balance strategy that did not fire today.
Yeah, no go on there. I was waiting for it, but we didn't get that drop needed.
Yeah. Basically, this is looking for a breakout for confirmation bias, long or short. We got the long confirmation, but we never came back to the balance midpoint, so no trade. But that would have taken a long if it came down to this yellow line. And I think GovGap did not get a trade today.
That's just because of the size of the gap, right? Me and Nara were talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, so this is looking for gaps which we can customize here. We're looking for minimum gaps to qualify, maximum gaps to qualify, and then signal candle not closing too much of the gap, so that it gives you a decent risk reward. And this takes some nice trades. Last week we got a really nice short. We got a couple nice trades actually last week. We got this 67.50 down to 66.88. This one was just a quick in and out. That was a quick stop out there. So it stops at, takes small losses most of the time, but then it gets these nice big winners. This was a basically 6,700 to 746, almost a 50-point trade here. So it really takes some nice trades. I trade this on 1ES, and that was a $3,200 trade. Had a $700 loss last week, and a $2,500 win. So I haven't run this week. Just because of the environment, but last week was a big week on that one, and over time it's made 30 grand in the last year on one contract with 2,800 in drawdown. So I really like this strategy. It's a nice gap fill.
Yeah, works well.
Nice to kind of sit back and let it make money. And that's just on one
exactly,
ES.
Especially on these times. It just makes it easier, too, to sit through these times where the market's not good, but you still want to be trading, making money, right? You could just be sitting back and letting these strategies run, especially during the holiday season. Exactly. I feel like that's the biggest benefit is during these holiday times when, these big traders are stepping away from the desks. You're not really stepping away, even if you are. You know what I mean? You could still be making money if there's opportunity in the market.
That's the beautiful thing, and as you get more into running these strategies, and our strategies are great for starting out, but what we're finding, and we're talking with a lot of different coders that have developed their own strategies, or any third parties that kind of have some promising things, and not all strategies work in all markets, so it's good to have a pretty diverse portfolio of these automations running, which is what I do. I got like 20 some strategies running right now. So I run clear edge strategies, but I also run a bunch of other third-party stuff, and we're actually getting ready. Dan probably talked about it, but in the next week or so, we're going to be releasing. Let me see if I can pull it up. This guy. So this is our
Yeah,
software.
the marketplace. This is gonna be fun. I can't wait for this. Nora was just showing us like 2 strategies that one of them was like 55% win rate, but it was so consistent and it was really good. And it was the one that didn't even have a trailing drawdown either, which I liked. And so the back test was like really raw and true.
Yeah, and that's what, especially with strategies. Yeah, TradingView has its flaws, so forward testing is always better than back test data. But that's why any third parties that do want to potentially become a seller of their strategies on our store, we make sure we forward test them for some time, make sure the entries and exits are in line with what's being reported in the backtest data. So just gives us that confidence that, we'd rather blow accounts and test things out. And we've tested a lot of junk and blown lots of accounts testing these things. But, we want to make sure anything that goes on the store is viable. And, anything can lose money, right? It's trading. I mean, you're playing the odds and nothing is 100% successful. We just want to see some consistency so that you can look at a strategy and say, okay, this is the probability of the win. This is how much it's going to lose when it does lose, and how much can I absorb in the account that I'm running it in. And just making those calculations so that people stay out of trouble. Let these things run, let them work, and over time, first step 1, pass your prop firm accounts, and step 2, size down a little bit. And I'm always more aggressive on the evaluation phase. I'd rather pay for 3 or 4 evals to get to a funded account quickly. If I have to oversize for that, that's fine. And then you get to your funded accounts, you can size down a little bit and just let it work out over time and build those accounts, build your portfolio of strategies, and pretty soon you can have a nice little cash flow going.
Yeah, that's what I think, right? And that's how I'm using it, of course, because most people are not going to want to stop manually trading, which you guys don't even want them to either, right? This is just to add to your trading, because there's so many strategies out there. There's so many ways to capitalize from the market, but we can't possibly be trading all of those different opportunities and strategies at once, right? And so
it's
being able to leverage the prop firm world, especially with this, is amazing, because that's how I'm using it. It's extra cash flow every month for me.
Yeah, the way I look at it is I'm one person and I can only trade so much, and I can only trade the strategies that I trade manually. And if I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strategies running, all trading different things, I can capitalize on different setups, because I know my typical manual trading, I trade a lot of harmonic trading, which I've not yet figured out how to automate that, but maybe one day. It's pretty complex, but I can't take advantage of all of these different setups in the market. But if I can have some automations trading in a dozen different prop firm accounts, just cash flowing a little here, a little there. And maybe I have a red day in manual world, and I look over my automations and I made a couple grand. I'm like, okay, that takes the sting away from having a red day on the manual side. Or it makes money and I make money manually trading, and it's just supplemental to what I'm doing. So I definitely, I don't think it's, at least I don't advise it's something that can replace your manual trading. But if you're having a difficult time being consistently profitable on the manual side, this can certainly take the pressure off a little bit, because that's what hurts manual traders most of the time, is that pressure from passing those prop firms, pressure on being consistently profitable. And that kind of does something to your mentality, especially, I've seen people just go on tilt very quickly. They have a couple good days, couple good weeks, and then 1 or 2 bad trades, and they go south quick. So the automations really, have helped me on the manual side, because it kind of teaches you, if the setup is there, take it. And if it's not, don't. It's just a very binary decision. Like, all conditions.
There is no in between of how you feel or emotions or whatever.
No,
it's if the setup and confluences are there, it's in, and if not,
you don't second guess yourself.
Yeah,
exactly.
to get in the trade. No doubt about that.
And more people need to learn that early on, and that's really it conditions you to be trading like that from the beginning versus how a lot of us start, right, with the randomness and just oversizing and basically just taking random shots at the market throughout the day.
Yeah, and sometimes I intervene, and there's probably places where it's fine to intervene and take profits. On a couple of those big gap plays, I took profits, at a couple $1,000s, and it continued to like 3,200, which was fine. I'm not, regretting stuff like that. But there are times where I intervene, and I'm like, why the hell are you getting long here or short here to the automations? And in the manual side, I'd be like, I would never short this or never long this. And I intervene, and then it ends up winning, and I'm like, I should have just left it. So it really is just very binary, like no PBA, no paralysis by analysis. It's just taking the trades that it's supposed to take, and it's either going to win or lose, and just accept that. And you look over time, and these strategies perform consistently, and until they don't, you just keep it switched on and size it according to your account, and then just let it do its thing.
Do you think there's a world where you find a strategy that is just so good that you're like, you know what, I don't want to even run multiple. I just want to have a big cash count and put more funds into this and just run that?
I've come across a couple that I thought could be that, and then market conditions change and it goes the other way. So I think there's certain strategies that when they are just on a roll that you can size up.
Because every strategy is going to have a month that it's down or 2 months that it's down. I mean, right.
I wish there was the Shangri-La of strategies was out there, but I just don't think it is. I think you have to just like manual trading, you always have to be learning, evolving, and adapting to market conditions.
It's funny though, even if I were to tell most people in the audience right now, hey, you're gonna, like this next year, 2026, you're guaranteed you're gonna be profitable, but you're gonna have 3 months where you're red. They looking at me right now, they'd be fine with it. But then you go through that trading and you feel like you're in a spiral to the downside, right? Where it's like, it's very realistic to have 2 to 3 months to the downside and the rest of the year be absolutely killing it, right?
But you got to give them time to work out over a long period, because
it's true.
You're gonna have down draws, you're gonna have stuff. You got to give them time to work.
That's why I love the far back test too. Go ahead. Wow.
Yeah,
and I've been there. You feel like it's never gonna turn. You're like, I'm on a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 red trade streak, and you're like, oh my god, my strategy's dead. It's never gonna work again. And it does. I mean, not all the time. There's outliers for sure, but that's why the strategies that we developed for Clear Edge are tried and tested strategies. That there's no secret that opening range breakouts have been a thing for decades. The initial balance has been a thing for decades. Gap fills have been a thing for decades. So I tried to program strategies that were adjustable, customizable, and that could produce consistent results. And they're going to have good days and bad days like everything, but consistently over time, those things work. And they work because, the market is mostly driven by trading algorithms, whether it's institutional, high-frequency traders, CTA. I mean, all of these big institutions are using, algorithms to do a lot of the big trading. I think I read a statistic like 90-some% of all trading volume is algorithmic, which is great for us because we know, if algorithms don't have emotions, they get out of a trade, not because of a feel, but they get out of a trade or get in a trade or get out of a trade because of some trigger. And if it's not news related, it's got to be something else. And that either you're in, camp technical or camp mechanical. Mechanical is going to be gamma and things like that. And then technical is going to be, breakouts, breakdowns, pivot levels, Fibonacci. which is why technical trading works so well, because it's very easy to program. It's mathematics, so not easy, but it's easy for somebody who knows how to code to program algorithmic trading around technical levels. So there just has been either little or not great options for the retail trader, and that's why we built ClearEdge, so that for a pretty inexpensive entry price, you can capitalize on some of this algorithmic trading and kind of do what the big boys do.
Absolutely.
With smaller size.
Yep. Because it's funny if you really think about it, even the big hedge funds and institutions, even if they're not actually like using some legit automation, they're all separate, right? When they're working, like one person is making the decisions on the trade, the other person's actually executing them, right? And that kind of does the same thing that automation does and brings the emotions out of things. So I just find that to be, it's like
such a helpful thing.
Everybody's using it to some extent, right? Some sort of kind of automation to an extent, and I would call that the same type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just another tool to add to your trading tool belt, and like I said, I look at everything from a risk reward and what's the investment? Is it going to pay me back? And is it going to help me? Is it going to be profitable? And the answers are yes. It definitely, and with the store that we're about to release, I mean, there's going to be constantly adding stuff, and that'll evolve over time to be something that you can have a good, and not only can you see different strategies in there from other people, if you actually have a strategy yourself, we're giving people the option to become a third-party vendor and potentially monetize something that you have built.
Oh yeah, because there's people in the audience I already know, and just people out in the trading world that code and build their own strategies. Now you can, for one, put it on a marketplace and sell it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
For two, you could be actually automating it yourself through ClearEdge, right? And that's what I think is awesome. You guys don't force people to only use your own strategies. You're like, hey,
no, we
come here, use your own, share it with us, and put it on the marketplace and make some money from it, right? Which, by the way, guys, everybody in the audience, I pinned it in the chat. If you click that link, it'll take you to the ClearEdge website. If you use code WOLF, you guys can get a free trial. So we usually do a free trial throughout these streams. Take advantage of that and just try it out. And then you don't have to pay for it to see if you actually want to use it or like it.
You get 7 days to give it a try, and if you like it, you stick around and come into our Discord.
That'll get them in the Discord too, right?
Yeah, we got we've been beta testing this a while, but we launched a couple months back, and we've already got a couple hundred traders in the Discord using the software, and everybody's been super helpful and enthusiastic, sharing ideas, sharing different setups, and we're around to support you and help you get onboarded. We have some good videos on our YouTube channel to help you get set up quickly. If you're an experienced trader, it's going to be fairly straightforward for you. It's going to take you a few days to kind of get accustomed to the software. It might take you a little longer if you're not familiar. But, I have people that never touched futures trading, and they're using the software every day and loving it. So we have all experience levels, and it's just been great to see. And like I said, there's right now a couple hundred people in the Discord that are using the software, and everyone's been super enthusiastic about it, like I said, and very open to help each other succeed. And that's what we love. We're building a really nice community.
Yeah, shout out to the crew. I love to see people going in there and just helping you guys out. Everybody's clicking around and trying to figure out ways to make the strategies better. I know Knots was texting me one night. He's like, bro, change the setting on it. It'll like up the win rate on this strategy. I'm like, this is so cool. We can all just play around with it and figure out what's best,
That's the beauty of it, because
awesome.
we've been beta testing this for a while, and it's just been a couple of us, and now we've got a couple hundred people essentially testing.
Now you have a team, helping
we came up with some really good parameters for the strategies, but some people keep saying, "Oh man, if we do this and change that, and don't run it on Fridays, it ups the win rate." So it's great. It really is great.
Yeah, I definitely want to give this a try. I'm definitely going to. I'm doing some automation with options, with the Option Alpha team, and doing some stuff on there. But I definitely want to try it for futures. So this is going to be great. I'm going to definitely add this.
Yeah, you should. They got some good strategies you would probably like to run already too. So
yeah, I'm
Nara,
sure. Yeah,
Nara and Smooth are always willing to help you out. It's pretty easy to set up though.
I need to get I'm gonna do a Tradify account and do it through there, because right now I trade majority on Thinkorswim, and I'm gonna open up one of those so I can do this as another account.
Yeah, and we actually just released the latest version. We've been testing, obviously when people trade cash, we want to be extra cautious, so we were testing some new features, and we just released a new update to the software that allows you to trade cash account through Tradify or Ninja. So that's something that people have been asking for a while. So
perfect. I love it.
Another addition.
I see Subdued. It says I am getting $50 off with the code Wolf, not free trial. It'll be $50 off on your first once it actually like asks for a payment. But the first week should give you a 7-day free trial, and then it's $50 off once you actually have to make the payment.
Right.
But yeah, Smooth. A great rundown. I know me and Nara talked too. I don't know if there's any other strategies you might want to go through, any other points you want to drop for the team, but I just want to make sure we got everybody that link and give you guys a minute to show us how things were doing lately.
Yeah, we definitely have. We also, we can take automations not just from a strategy on TradingView, but also from indicators. So this is an indicator. So I'm able to take something like this. And when there's a short signal, for example, on here, I can go into my signal here and execute from a TradingView indicator. And
it doesn't necessarily have to be an entire coded strategy. It could just be an indicator that you have,
And then when I'm in my account here and I add a new strategy, I can set the take profit in points and ticks or dollars. Mm-hmm. So that way, if you don't have a strategy, you just have an indicator. It's not going to tell you when to sell. You can
just do it in terms of risk to reward.
So I know that this always trades a certain range. It takes profit in, let's say, 100 points, or stop loss is 100 points. I can just put that into there. It's going to take the short signal and then set a bracket. So this will just set a bracket in the broker, whether it's Project X or Tradify. It's going to set that bracket when it sends the short order. So it'll execute the sell, and it'll set your stop loss here. It'll set your take profit here, right in the broker, as soon as it sends the order. So it's able to automate any indicator as well. So not just strategies. And I kind of like using indicators too, because whenever you have automation, whenever you're using TradingView, which is unfortunately sometimes the weakest link, because their signal, where our software is executing in sometimes sub 100 milliseconds, but we're still reliant on the signal coming from TradingView. And if that's got a little bit of a delay, it could turn that 100 milliseconds into 1.5, 2 seconds from the actual signal. So when you get a bracket order, you get rid of the exit slippage, basically. So it kind of reduces some of that potential slippage. And that doesn't happen all the time, but again, we're at the behest of TradingView, so that's kind of a nice thing. So we're running a few indicators right now that have been pretty decent. This is another one I'm running on gold. This has a few different profit levels that it'll take, but again, I can set this up in my, and this is a third-party strategy that I've been testing. I think Dan probably went through Let me see if this one. This is one of our members that coded a 1 minute orb, which actually took 2 trades today. I got 1 win, 1 loss. Let me reset this. Yeah, so I had 2 trades today, made $1,400 on the first trade and lost $535 on the second trade, trading 1 NQ. So overall, last 30 days, let's see what this has done. So on 1 NQ, this has made 11,000 and with a 3,400 drawdown with 1 NQ. I take this from an NQ chart and I actually trade 5 MNQ on this, so my drawdown's a little less, but still 5 or 6 grand in a month is pretty good. We'll take that. So
absolutely take that. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Do that on a couple accounts every month. That's good money.
And the 5 minute orb strategies in the last 30 days, I think they've been pretty decent. Yeah, this has made 3 grand with 1,200 in drawdown, and the Nasdaq has made 60. Is that 30 days? No, 1,600 with 1,800 in drawdown. So between these 2 orbs, this is 1,600 and 3 grand. There's $4,300. So these have performed pretty nicely. GovGap has done pretty well, as I mentioned before. So just running a portfolio of these strategies, some are going to be red. I think balance has probably been around even the last 30 days, maybe a little profitable. Yeah. So it's
just been pretty even and chill. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm up a little more than that because the couple days I didn't run it for, I don't know, FOMC or whatever. But
yeah.
And it took a loss, which I didn't take. But yeah. So we have, this is another strategy that one of our members built. I don't think I have it set up correctly, but this one, this is 90 days, about $6,000 with 7,000 in drawdown. So a little deeper drawdown on this one. That's one of our members that I'm testing it out for. Yeah, so we got a lot of different things in the works.
Yeah, I love it. You guys are constantly working on new strategies, other ways to capitalize, ways to make the strategies better. I love it.
Yeah, and like I said, we wanted to have a few strategies available that people could tweak and be profitable with, and make them feel like they're getting real, even though the software itself is immensely valuable. We just wanted to be able to program some strategies for people to get started, get their feet wet, make a little money, and then introduce this marketplace where ultimately, hopefully, we'll have eventually maybe hundreds of strategies in there that we've tested that maybe they're not always all going to be profitable, but you'll be able to build a portfolio so that you always it balances out and you're always seeing profit from somewhere, and just build up a nice little investment or automation investment portfolio, I guess, would be.
Agreed.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it.
It's the goal. That's the goal for me too, personally, as a trader. I want to have
multiple sources of income, right? And
20,
if I can
30 prop accounts all running automation and just leave it, let it go, and then send in my weekly payout requests.
Yeah, exactly. That's
and then
the best feeling ever.
Then go play more golf.
Yep, go play golf, right? That's the move.
Maybe next time I won't shoot from the ladies' tees.
Yeah, it makes that scorecard look a little bit better at the end, doesn't it?
The ladies' tees don't even help me.
Yeah, he's still shooting over 100.
I can hit it far. It's once I get close to the hole.
That's what they say.
All right, I just opened up my Tradify account. Done.
Nice.
So.
Let's go.
Boom. Let's go, Will.
Yeah, I definitely if you ever have any issues, hit up Smooth, hit up Nara. They're so willing to help. I'm willing to help too. I know a decent amount about the automation stuff. So if you ever need help, I'm here to help. Ryan, what's up?
By the way, Black Friday on Tradify, code Wolf, 40% off all the accounts right now through Monday, December 1st. So from now until end of Cyber Monday. 40% off over at Tradify. We told you guys the Black Friday deals were coming. 40% off right there. Code Wolf. This is a tweet that just went up on our Wolf Trading right there. But if you're, hey, looking to pick up some accounts, get into some Tradify. It seems like a good pair right there. Get you a discount over there too. So 40% off. Just wanted to throw that out there.
You can use those Tradify accounts with ClearEdge, so you can go take the free.
That's
trial.
why I wanted to bring that up during the middle of this.
You can go get the free trial for ClearEdge and not pay anything to try it out, and then only pay for your funded. But that's already 40% off, so it's very, very cheap to start and try out the ClearEdge if anybody wants to. That link's still pinned in the chat. But shout out to you, Adam, coming on, showing that.
Now's the time of year. Now's the time of year. I get your trading view. So I think I've got like a couple of years left, and I just keep adding on to it every Black Friday.
Oh yeah, the Trading View Black Friday sale. We love that. We take advantage of that.
Well,
you got any last thoughts before we wrap things up?
No, I appreciate being on here and sharing what we're doing. Hope a bunch of you in the chat are able to come in and get your 7-day free trial. Come check out what we're doing. You like it, stick around. And, we're, like I said, we're always active in the Discord. You can always reach out to me on Twitter or X, whatever they call it these days. I think you'll find it's a great community. Everyone's super helpful. And I think it's something that is going to grow. And just get even better. We do have a team of full stack developers as part of our company that are constantly updating and improving the software. So even though the software is phenomenal, the software you see today is the worst version you'll see, because it's always going to be improving and getting better and adding new features. So that's our commitment is, we want to team up with people to keep building the strategy marketplace while we concentrate on making this software just immensely better and better every day.
Agreed. Well, always a pleasure, Smooth. I know we'll have you on again soon. And as for the audience, it's been a great day on stream. We're gonna get wrapping things up, so make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. But big shout out to Smooth. Big shout out to Will. Emp coming on towards the end here. Emp, you got any last thoughts? Last shout outs?
Don't do anything dumb. I did did a couple little things dumb today. Code Wolf is a good shout out. We are at a golden retrace and previous all-time high on SPX. We are half back on NDX. I still am not convinced that we're out of the woods just yet, and I won't be until next week. So we'll see what happens, but this is, it's positive, right? I would love a push through here and then a come back and hold once the institutions get back to their desk, and then I'll be much more excited. Dell had earnings while you guys were chatting there as well. They were initially up on the reaction and pulled back in a little bit, still up just over 1% here. Numbers look decent. That's the only earnings play that, or not play, but only earnings news that I really heard in my ear. That I don't know if there's any earnings people cared about. Zscaler, HPQ, Workday, or some of the other ones that reported today, but I think it was a slight miss on revenue for Dell, but the EPS was a nice beat, 2.59 versus 2.39.
Heard that.
Yeah, that's all I've got. And I know Smooth has got the same thing on his screen, watching NDX, SPX right at these retracement levels, which can be targets. They can also be cautionary places too. So
61.8 right here.
Yeah, and we rejected that Thursday high as well. So just carry that forward in your narrative. But like I said, I'm with you. I really want to see us get above the primary downtrend, which is a little bit further up in SPX, and that for me is around that 68.25 area in the cash. So we'll see what happens for the rest of the week, and then next week will be a good side. But I just signed up for ClearEdge and got a Tradify account going. So
shout out, let's go, baby.
I'm looking. I'll be Smooth. I'll be reaching out because I'd like to get this set up. So
heck yeah, I'll be around. I'll be a little full of turkey, but I'll be around.
Yeah. No, we'll catch up.
I did see this too. Oscar got a price target upgrade from someone. I heard it a few moments ago as well. But
We'll watch that
Oscar,
going into tomorrow.
they're up like 3, almost 4% in the after hours. So yeah, that was the other piece of news that I heard in my ear.
All right.
I don't know. I kind of just want to play golf the rest of the week.
You should.
It's a tough game. I think golf's a lot harder than trading. Anybody agree?
They're very similar. You know, you show up to the golf course, you fuck up one shot, and you start full porting every shot, bro. And it's just like
grip it and rip
shit
it.
show, bro. It's a shit show.
Yeah,
But
I think if I'm 60% profitable on the golf course, I'm happy.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, they call me the snowman out there.
Yeah.
It's 8s all across.
Oh gosh.
The thing about golf, and maybe trading's like this too, when I compare it in my head. The thing about golf is like you get going and about hole 5, you start to kind of get a little bit of a swing going, and all of a sudden you hit that like one shot that you're like, oh yeah, like I could do this. And then
it's always the shot that brings you back.
But it's that one shot, shot you get like a birdie, or like you'll put one within like 5 feet from mid fairway sometime, and you're like, oh yeah, okay. But it just came more often. You know, I could do this. I feel like it's like trading. Like that one big trade makes you like keep going for the other trades. And sometimes
you're like,
it's
I
not
got
the best
that shit now. Yeah.
It's when you drive the green and then take 4 putts to put it in the hole.
That is. You've been watching my golf game. That is me. Look, I'm a scramble player. Like you put me with somebody that's got a short game, we're getting to the green. Like I'm gonna drive it 250 plus, and I'm gonna get us to the green. But once we get there, it's all on you.
All right, then we got to go golfing.
There we go. Me and you, Will.
The course I played today was like the first hole was a 590-yard par 5 right off the bat. I'm like, oh my god.
Let's go.
Not even like ease me into it.
Smooth. Where are you located at?
Naples, Florida.
Oh, nice, beautiful, nice weather.
I live basically right next to Tiburon Golf Course, which is like a Ritz-Carlton.
Got it.
Course.
Yep.
I didn't play there today because it's like $600 a round.
Yeah, reasonably priced.
A little crazy, but even like half decent courses this time of year, a couple $100 a round. It's pretty crazy this time of year.
Yeah, very nice.
What a day, y'all. All right, I'm gonna wrap up.
All right, cool. I'm gonna jump out of here.
Audience. Yeah, Will, enjoy. Smooth.
Take care.
Enjoy. Happy Thanksgiving if we don't see you guys really around tomorrow. And shout out to the audience sticking around. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Use code WOLF. Tradify. Black Friday sales, baby. The Black Friday sale on Apex 2. Code WolfX there. And with that, we'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Are you streaming tomorrow, Em? I think he is.
Yes, I am, because Thursday we're off. So I'll be live tomorrow morning.
So yeah, Emp will be live on the Wolf Trading account tomorrow morning. If you guys want to watch some more live trading, we'll be on X Spaces as well, and gonna be another great day. So yeah.
Just kidding.
All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Peace out. We love y'all.
Bye. Peace.